We can't be doing with this, complaining on the forums.
Yeah, 100%. But we're here in qualifying, following along with Stevie Tai in the Rockets Evolved Honda. The track is green right now. If you look to your top right-hand side of your screen, you can see some of that other information as well. Wind is 1 kilometer an hour, so not sure if we're going to see too much change. I did get a little bit of insider info from my guy in pit lane saying that the weather could be pretty crazy tonight, but it's looking pretty casual thus far. Stevie Tai just coming to the last section here into Brooklands and Luffields, and we might get a little bit of a taste of what's to come. Nope, but that's not going to be a taste of what's to come. This is the outlet, so we're just setting up.
Honda engine explodes, maybe? Who knows? There could be a taste of things to come.
Who else could this be but Lucas Keys? I saw this livery and was like, wow, that's terrible. That's shocking, and never disappoints, or always disappoints, depending on your point of view. But the man to watch, Lucas Keys, always a bit racy. We'll see what he's going to do here. I was looking a bit through the standings. I think he's still chasing Patrick Johnson thus far. So see if he's going to actually put one together, start near the front, or if he's going to start from the back. I know he's not shy from a bit of last to first challenge. But right now, as we watch him go through Stowe, just gets nice and wide, tucked in there. And that's right on the knife's edge there of the curves. I think that's still valid though. Gets it pulled up for the first set of chicane, for the Vale chicane. Let's see what Lucas has in store for us tonight.
I know the Lexus was super powerful in Paul Ricard on the last race. Is it still going to be super powerful here at Silverstone with a few more bends and a few less straights?
It's hard to say. I mean, in the hands of this guy, it's definitely a capable weapon, but it's a tricky car. I've honestly not put too much time into it myself because I find it a little bit wild. I remember its a suspension package. I know a lot of the suspension packages for the older cars are old and dated, but this one felt pretty bad to me in particular. So I'm sure that he'll make do. There's a couple of, there's not enormous straights like you have in Paul Ricard or some other tracks, but, it still gets the power down plenty nice. So we might be seeing our actual first benchmark here from Lucas Keys is he's coming over the line. It's a 58.2, if you don't mind. Patrick Johnson 7/10 behind, so Keys looking pretty already.
Fair enough. Scrub that comment. It's Paul Ricard again.
You just can't stop this man. He's just unbelievable. On a green track as well, we have just gone fast. But yeah, I mean, 6/10 ahead of Stevie Tai as well. You think I could not be surprised by this guy anymore, but he just keeps doing it.
Yeah, it keeps on going quicker. Just need a sledgehammer to the feet. That'd stop him, but I don't think that would be fair in the racing code.
I think that might be slightly frowned upon. But these two guys in tow right now, Keys and Johnston. Johnston rocking the Bentley. He's a big fan of this one with the skill issue livery wrapped around that thing. Currently 4/10 up, so he's looking to make a mark in that deficit that he has to Keys for the moment. These two have a lot of free track ahead of them. It's nice to see there'll be no impeding here. Getting all the way out there. Little bit of a wiggle, but the time still looks pretty good for Patrick Johnson as he comes to this infield section. Round Village through the loop, 6/10. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's going in the right direction. Just a few more, and he'll get pole for
that. Can you believe it? And the answer is yes, I can. 4/10 up. This track is getting faster, definitely, so I think we're going to continue to see improvement, but Lucas Keys isn't going to make this easy for any of these guys. It's a very stacked split here in yellow, as it has been for some time. We've got some big names. We'll see what Aiden Squires, Mr. Smooth Vintner, Brian Kong as well. Pretty sure Saxon Hayes is in this split too. See if he can have a final say in the standings before we get into this race. Keys, though, pulling it into the pits for the time being, but it's a 57.8 is the gauntlet for the time being. I see Austin actually in the Twitch chat just having spinning a little bit of a yarn about the Lexus's suspension. So, nice to see you, Austin. Big shout out to Austin. But we're back on board with Stevie Ty. Come through the first section, Maggots Beckett's Chapel Curve, heading down Hanger Straight all the way to Stowe. Throws it round, looking pretty tidy in the Honda. This thing is a little bit of a handful too. Nice and smooth. You know what they say, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we'll see if Stephen Ty can keep this up. Just coming through the Vale chicane, getting back onto the Hamilton Straight. It's a tricky little section there. It's kind of that one continuous corner as you come through Club. It's not a favorite of mine personally. You start washing out wide and you just feel like you can never claw it back. It's looking pretty decent thus far. It's 1.5 tenths up.
He's getting there, a bit more of a push, and he'll push into those 57s and maybe challenge Lucas, but it looks like he's just lost it a bit there.
Yeah, a little bit. He's going to continue on. There's still 2 tenths. As I say, as it dips under 2 tenths, but yeah, there's still definitely going to be some time. I think we're going to be seeing, I think, the best times come through right until the end as the track does improve in terms of the rubber that's been put on it. But Stephen just heading around Luffields. We'll see what it is, and that's your split times for the time being. I believe you can't even see everyone. We've got about 35 cars on track for tonight. It's still fast, but if you notice just to the left, there's rain in 30 minutes. And I'll tell you what, Chris, the race takes place an hour from this qualifying session.
So still a traditional British summer then, with a nice downpour here and there.
Yeah, I hope these guys didn't get too used to running these slicks, because I'm not sure if it's going to be like that for too much longer.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely make things a little bit more spicy, a little bit more interesting, and yeah, then strategy comes into play as to, is it going to stay all wet, and can we go back out, or yeah, it's just going to be life interesting, I feel.
100%. I think we'll have to see what the further forecast shows us. I mean, we'll probably only really get to see it as we shift over to the next session, but it should be good. It's going to make for some good racing. Whoa, very, very wide there for McKellar, but manages to keep it very, very friendly. Track limits here at Silverstone. It's going to be 4 tenths up. That's going to put him all the way to P2, if you don't mind. Glenn just pointing us, as I sort of mentioned before, this is an absolutely stacked split. You do see Saxon Hayes actually punting for the top 10, currently P8, but yeah, Squires, Johnston, Vintner, Culie as well. Did not even realize that Chris Culie was in this split. So if anyone has anything to say about P1 in this race, it's Chris Culie.
At the moment, he's nearly 3 tenths up, and that would get pole.
Yeah, that would be plenty enough, and there's still plenty of track to go. This Ferrari looks bloody bouncy, I will say. I know that section can be a little bit bumpy, but I also cannot believe he's been roped into Pidgey colours. I can't believe they've done that. I can't believe they've done this.
Why? What's wrong with the Pidgey boys?
Look, I mean nothing. I just like ribbing them. I don't believe they've been doing very well in their forced rivalry of the skill issue guys. So we'll see. I mean, it does help when you have the one of the best drivers on payroll.
Yeah, man. I've just got to give them respect for the mad liveries that they've got. Always good-looking cars. Can't complain on that.
Very fair, very fair. Just see a Bentley dive off to the side, getting nice and out of the way for Chris Culie. It's 4.5 tenths right now. It's going to be plenty if he can get it across the line. We'll see what happens though, because it has just gone down just a touch. Still plenty though.
Yeah, I reckon he can do this. I'm rooting for him. Give Keys a bit of an incentive to go quicker. Can't complain about that kind of racing.
100%, 100%. I think I hope these guys all just start from the front. I don't really want to see any of these last to first antics. Oh, 57777. That's a little nod to Keys, if you don't mind, just making it personal. Does Chris Culie. But very nice time there, 57.7. What are we looking at? How much more improvement have we got? There's still a tiny bit, but that's a bloody good time. I'm not even sure if we're optimum yet. I'm being told from pit lane that we're still fast. We're still fast, so that is bloody quick. That is bloody quick, if you don't mind. And I'll just point your attention to the top right. That rain is actually I think that's medium to heavy now in 30 minutes. So it's definitely going to be a very, very wet start to this race. But that is actually going to be the end of our qualifying session. So the last laps just coming through. 121 is going to be our last car. So Lucas Keys just getting acquainted with the sand trap. We'll see what the last couple of cars can do. We've got Ty out there still. Vintner, Hayes. I think Vintner and Hayes will be wanting to get a little bit further up. Andy Bishop, David Stevenson, and Spenceley still out there. So we'll see what these guys have in store. Oh my god, they've got Benny Vintner on the Pidgey livery too. That's foul. That's foul. Benny Vintner always has the best liveries. I can't believe it. I can't believe you've done this. I'm gonna have to have a word with Mr. Madden.
Been too long since you commentated and missed all the changes, eh?
Yeah, 100%. I've gone for 3 races of one season and everything is just it's all changed. I can't believe it. We still have Chris Culie is still coming around. It's coming through the last section here through Luffields. Let's see if he can improve whatsoever. He's still got this one in the bag though for the time being. So this is just for bragging rights. Did no improvement there. Well.
Oh, I was hoping for a 666, but I don't think I'm going to get it.
Don't think so. John just doing a bit of lawn mowing. Nothing to see here. Classic fire and ice livery for John Stockton. It's at least some things stay the same. Is this the England that you remember, Chris?
Ah, yeah. Good old Northwest. Getting all the rain before it hits the Pennines. Ah, lovely.
We'll see if who's done their wet practice and who's not. I'm sure everyone's relatively familiar with this track. I'm sure it'll be completely drama-free. Oh, what's this? I'm just getting word in from the stewards box. Number 7, Brian Kong, going to receive a 4-place grid penalty for a collision in qualifying. We didn't quite see that one. So naughty. Brian, I believe, was in our top 10 as well. So that's a little spicy.
Yeah, I got a little brief snippet of the weather graph at the top, and it does not look like it's going to get any sunshine anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think judging by this amount of rain, it would still be probably greasy by the end of the race, even if it stopped now. This is very heavy. Mr. Broadcaster Man, could I please get the timing tower up just to go through our qualifying positions, please? Yes, take us to the front. Thank you very much. So, if you cannot read, I will read it for you. Chris Culie takes out P1, getting ahead of Lucas Keys, getting the better of Lucas Keys this time around. Stephen Ty, Patrick Johnson, and McKellar rounding out your top 5. Brian Kong currently P6, but with a 4-place penalty, so he'll find himself down in P10. Aiden Squires, Ben Vintner, Saxon Hayes, and Benjamin Piper for the time being. So strong showing from our pro drivers, rounding out pretty much the entire top 10. Choritos, Mansell, Stevenson, Dave Stevo. Bloody good effort from Dave. Good to see him in silver class too. Price Davies, Ron Danella. That's appalling. What would Liam say? What would Liam say, Jaden? That's bloody terrible, Jaden. Down in 15th. Can't believe it.
No
But,
shame, hey?
he's better than this. I believe he wanted to win last season, and you know what happened? Liam Hamilton joined the split, so he didn't come close. But he's just better than that, you know.
Fair enough. Luke is a quick guy.
Absolutely no, but this is incredibly stacked. I was actually having a flick through the results page, and there was a bunch of people. It was particularly in this pro-am kerfuffle down here with next to no points this season because there's been more than 30 cars in most of the races, and I believe the points only stretch to 30th. So, you know, we've got plenty of good drivers that aren't even getting points right now. So it's pretty wild. It's yeah, having to fight tooth and nail to get just about anything here, as they do pull off for our formation lap. We have 1 hour race tonight. I don't even know. Is there pit stops? I'm a little bit out of practice. Would you believe? I'm hearing in from my pit lane reporter there is no mandatory pit stops tonight, so I think we're going to be seeing just it's just going to be a shootout from start to finish, considering these weather conditions. Particularly, I mean, all these cars can do an hour with fuel in the dry too, but you know, using the fuel usage in the rain is going to be significantly less. So yeah, just a straight shot start to finish.
Oh, I do think that it's going to be. It could be interesting. I don't know. I hold out for the British weather being changeable. So if it's modelled properly, maybe we'll get some changing conditions here. But I also worry about track limits as well in the wet. They're a little bit more harsher, I feel. Maybe a couple of drive-throughs for people could change the state of the field. Who knows?
Yeah, always a factor at play. You did see number 89 just pulled off to the side there. Actually, is that my guy Ben Oliver? I hope not. But I wonder if Andy Bishop. Okay, Andy Bishop in the Race Factory Lexus. It's a pretty tidy looking car, but something's looking a little bit wrong there, Chris. And it looks like, if my eyes don't deceive me, he's on dry tires, which is not the call. So I would just be going to pits. I would literally, unless it's a spectator bug, which I do believe happens occasionally. See what happens with Andy, but I would just be pulling that one back to the pits personally.
Yeah, it's a little bit ambitious. I mean, I did say changeable weather, but it's not that quick.
It's a little bit optimistic, to be on the slicks already. Oh yeah. Any predictions for the start of this race, Chris?
I mean, I want to just have a nice, clean sort of a run into the Maggots and Beckett's. That's the only prediction I want. I don't know what's going to happen beyond that. It's a bit of a tricky one for a first turn. It's not Monza, but it's still tricky.
Yeah, I think the first turn is usually okay, but yeah, because that Maggots and Beckett's section is a little bit technical. It can be a bit tricky to keep it super clean, but it's a relatively wide area, and it's not like it goes from wide to narrow, so it's not too bad. I do think, fingers crossed, this is going to be the biggest commentator's curse of all time, but usually people are pretty well behaved in wet weather. I think they usually take it relatively easy. Now that I've said that, it's going to be a disaster, but we'll see what happens. But for now, Chris Culie leads the way with Lucas Keys on his left. Stephen Ty, Patrick Johnson just up the front here. Lucas Keys looking a bit racy, but they're about to cross the line. I do believe it's relatively delayed at Silverstone, the actual start. Just waiting. Keys just trying to get every advantage he can. Race start has been initialized and will be green momentarily, and there we are, and it's a really good start. That preparation from Lucas Keys just excellent, but he washes so far wide. Chris Cooley's not even worried about it, just make sure he gets around that corner, looking relatively tidy down the back. They fall into a single line. It's Culie, Keys, Ty. Oh, Culie has to bail out. Crosses over, a little bit naughty potentially from Culie, just getting a little bit of that advantage. Chris Taylor just saying, let's go VTEC, hell yeah, but it looks like he's got that Bentley all up on his rear wing. Chris Culie away a little bit here But now we're going to look back. Stephen Ty just in a little bit of a battle here with Patrick Johnson. The boat of the Bentley just doing ever so well in this wet weather. Washes out a little bit wide. Stephen Ty with a better exit there. Had a little bit of drive on him, but just nowhere to go thus far. Tries to get on the brakes nice and late into the Vale chicane, but there's nothing there. And Patrick Johnson has successfully gotten that position back. For the moment. And who is that Mustang? That's Aiden Squires as well, just joining the fray here. It looks like he's jumped a few positions too. Don't see McKellar anywhere as it stands right now. A few stragglers all the way at the back. There is McKellar just catching up with him. That looks like Saxon Hayes behind as well. And I think that's Brian Cock too. And oh no!
Oh.
What's happened? We didn't see that, but we've seen the aftermath and they've just been cleaned up. Saxon Hayes is off too. Oh no! Oh, we're gonna have to get eyes on that. It looks like Benny Vincent and Mr. Smooth might have been caught up in that action. Looks like McKellar just getting a little bit offline there. Benjamin Piper, a little bit of a winner here, up into P7, leader of the silver class field. Looking back all the way to the front. Lucas Keys back on the tail of Chris Culie, so this one is still happening, but damn, we had to get some eyes on that. That was crazy, Chris.
Yeah, that is not what you want to do and score a strike in these kind of conditions. It's it's not good at all.
Yeah, and look, to be fair, they got through the difficult part cleanly, relatively. Chris probably took... Oh, that's so wide from Patrick. He's just exploring all of that runoff area. Yep, still there. Don't worry, guys. Still over there.
I mean, if you're going to bring a boat to the track, this is the one to do it, but
yeah.
Not like that.
No, he's conquering all the seas. The on-the-road seas, the off-the-road seas. Just, yeah, but, yeah, Chris Culie probably already has a couple of track cuts, as rightly pointed out by... I think that's Pete Viney, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a little while I'm in here. Since I've been in here, sorry, but it's a great run here from Lucas Keys. He looks to the outside. Chris Cooley's going to squeeze him all the way out, and they come very, very close. Keys, wiser to it, avoids that contact nicely, but I think this is going to be very, very difficult here for Chris Culie. I do think the Ferrari is probably a better package in the wet, but right now, Lucas Keys looks like he's in the driver's seat.
But there's... be a little bit ominous, but I do see in chat there's a 30-second stop go for Chris. I hope it's not Culie.
I do think that might have been Ben hitting it, just talking some trash, but we'll see. But for the moment, eyes up right now. It looks like Keys has gotten this run on through the Hamilton Straight. That is Keys through to P1 as they cross through Abbey. Very, very courageous move there. Late on the brakes, though, from Chris Culie, if you don't mind. Lucas, a little bit hard done by there. They're still door to door. As they're coming through this infield section around the loop, it's so wide for Chris Culie. He almost falls to the jaws of that big Boatley. And Lucas Keys has the last laugh, holds on to P1.
I mean, we've seen a lot of sort of mistakes so far. Running wide, I don't think that will be the end of it. Oh, and Patrick Johnson is just, oh, no, he's not made that one.
Yeah, brave on the brakes there from Pat, but not quite going to be enough. Chris Culie just defending that inside line. It's very, very wide again for Johnson. I think he's still getting to grips with this weather. But it's not going anywhere. The rain is increasing, but we're going to get eyes on this incident we saw with Stephen Ty. So I believe this is through Abbey, and he's cut quite a lot there and just loses the rear, and it's coming around, and we're spinning, and it's... Oh... So no fault of Stephen Tyres, but nowhere for anyone to go. Unfortunately, that is what we call a rough buddy. And why is Chris Culie in the pits? Surely he wasn't on slicks. You cannot tell me that he was on slicks. That would have been insane. Do you just see a penalty coming through for Will Capriciato? Didn't quite catch the duration of that one, but what's going on? What's all this then, Chris?
I mean, if chat's to be believed, all we needed to do was look at the sidewall of the tyres for the Pirelli bit, but I'm not that eagle-eyed, so I don't know why he's there. It's a bit of a mystery.
Maybe he's just had enough. He said, you know what, I've done my laps. I feel pretty good about those. Or did he think this is a second qualifying session?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery. I do feel sorry for Stevie Ty, just going back to that incident as well, taking the curbs. You just can't do that in these conditions. You've just got not enough grip, and yeah, you saw the result.
Yeah, it was a little bit ambitious there. That painted concrete is so slippery as well. But yeah, just nowhere to go for anyone behind him. So, you know, it's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Just watching Lucas Keys just driving around, nice Sunday British drive, and we have his biggest competitor in the pits for some reason. So, not really sure what's going on there. I think the problem is all of Chris's acolytes are racing in this race too, so I'm not sure if we'll get answers on that one. Chris Taylor just suggesting perhaps he forgot fuel, which I don't know, like that seems bizarre. Like, yeah, literally speechless. I think, is he out now? Or is he still in the pits, or did he quit?
Oh, well, he stopped for ice cream, it looks, and yeah, that's him.
Yeah, it's fish and chips down at the boardwalk. He's all done. He's pulled up stumps. But Aiden Squire's cheering for the moment in P3, inheriting that from all of that tomfoolery that we just saw. Just a little bit of a wiggle for joy there from Aiden Squires coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Benny Vintner as well, an inheritor of a few spots, and Brian Kong actually, after getting that 4-place grid penalty, all the way back up to P5. So very, very nice. We're getting suggestions that that Chris Culie, not Aiden, carry on Aiden, that Chris Culie has potentially committed crimes of a heinous nature that we didn't quite see on camera. So we're going to try and get some images of that for the time being. It doesn't sound good, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't sound good. Not so much Chris's fault, but I think it might have been a little bit ugly. Here we go. So, oh no!
Oh man, that's definitely not stopping for ice cream. That's murder of the Orient Express, I feel.
Yeah. Although, didn't everyone have a hand in the murder in Orient Express? I think there was only two to tango here tonight. Oh, that's tricky. I mean, look, Culie's moving back over to get onto the racing line. I think he just hasn't realised that the space isn't quite there, and Patrick doesn't have anywhere to go. So rough going. I can see why he's pulled up stumps, because that would have been a lot of damage as well. He just slid straight into that, straight into the barriers there.
Yeah, there's a few people, because I don't see Hayes and whatnot, the ones that are involved in that big Stevie Ty incident. They're way down the field. Oh, there we go, 26. He's not going to be happy about that.
No, and that bonnet, you could fit a chicken under there, as Damiano always liked to say. That makes him sound like he's died. I don't think Damiano is very much alive and well, as far as I know. But yeah, that's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle here for Saxon Hayes. Just carving his way back through the field. Got Stockton in his sights for the time being at GTR. Still got plenty of grunt, despite the aero, or the lack of aero that it's now sporting.
Yeah, it looks more like a Wreckfest car than a GT3 one, to be honest with you, in that state.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he's got... who is it? That's not Lipty. I think that's a different... these skill issue guys, they need to get a little bit of differentiation going on with their liveries. It makes my job hard.
Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, they could do a little work if they're fighting the Pidgey boys on liveries. I'd definitely give it to the Pidgey boys at the minute.
I actually had to give it to skill issue. I prefer that. It's nice. It's clean. For some reason, I'm being told back on vacation. I'm being put back in the box, unfortunately. Just jumping through the middle of the field here, checking on a few of our favorites. Matt Madden in P18. McKellar, we did see him tied up in that incident with Stevie Ty, currently running P9. bit of damage, to put it lightly, here for McKellar. Ben Curtis very astutely pointing out rain is getting heavier, so strap yourselves in, get your umbrellas out, get your raincoats out, and your gum boots on if you have not already, because this rain is not going anywhere.
Oh, you can't say gum boots to an Englishman. It's wellies or nothing. You need your wellies out, man.
Fuck. My bad. But just looking here at Patrick Johnson, he's our only hope to stop Keys from just running away with it, and it's not looking too good. My pit lane reporter just in my ear just saying he's already 4 seconds down, and I know I'm just trying to drum up a little bit of drama here, Glenn, because it's you know, we all saw what happened to Chris Culie, unfortunately, but so Patrick's gonna have to make it interesting for us, I think.
Yeah, I think Patrick's biggest ally is the British weather at the moment. That's going to keep things a little bit spicy. And then when they get into the back markers, maybe a few mistakes happen there. I don't know, but that's where I would be looking if I was him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we'll see if the blue flags shake anything up, or if Lucas starts getting a bit bored and starts doing a little bit of silly buggers. But for the time being, Lucas Keys firmly in the driver's seat. As we just pointed out before, Brian Kong, big winner here from everything as it's settled down now. 5 positions essentially for free, as far as I know. After it's all said and done, just chasing down Ben Vintner right now in the number 27 GTR. With a unfortunate Pidgey Boys livery, I would say. Ben Vintner's liveries are much, much better than the standard Pidgey Boys livery. I'm sorry to say it, Matt. I have to. I can't believe you've done this. I still can't believe it. But
you can't let it go, can you?
No, I don't know. It's just pink and blue. It's great, but the Pidgey Boys pink and blue, it's a little bit garish. I hate to say it. Lovely onboard shot here with Brian Kong. Just coming through this last section, Brooklyn's through Luffield. Bit of a slide there from Benny Vintner, if you don't mind. It's looking, I'm not sure if that's slip angle or slide. It's just looking like there's not a lot of traction to be had out there right now, Chris.
Yeah, no, I just want to give a bit of a shout out as well. Ibrahim Banks in P10 there. I do remember him from my academy days, so it's good to see that he's all the way in P10. Definitely benefiting from the Stevie Tie incident. Yeah,
Ibrahim is just on a rocket ship of improvement right now. He's absolutely cracked. I know him and his father race here at Octane. We've told this story countless times, but it's always nice to see. I do see they're I think they're up from. Well, Ibrahim is up from Amp to Pro-Am this season, I believe, but he could keep going, keep it up. It could definitely be silver. Your top 10 in this split is nothing to sneeze at whatsoever. Yes, livery elitism. I used to be a designer, I'll have you know, Cameron. So, and also, again, I just like ripping the Pidgey Boys. Easy target, you know. But for now, Bank with Price Davies hot in pursuit. Looks like less than half a second, despite the timing tower's best intentions. So see what Bank can do. I know his pace is quite excellent. His racecraft is good, but he is prone to making a mistake here or there, which I think does just come from that little bit of I wouldn't call it inexperience at this point, because we've seen Bank racing for some time, but it does take a little bit of time to cut your teeth out here on the track with some of these more experienced veterans, if you will.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I imagine some of the guys at the top, at the real tippity top, have got thousands upon thousands of hours in the sim. So it's yeah, he's got to get there as well to get that consistency in.
Yeah, 100%. Did you see in the background there as well, Ryan King? Glenn, you read my mind. You stellar man. Just fighting off the advances here of Jaden Rondinella. If there's anyone that should be capitalizing on all the hubbub that we saw at the front, it should be Jaden. He's only made up 2 positions right now. Tut, Jaden, you can do better than that.
Oh, well, I hope you haven't put the commentator's curse on him. I've still got mine in the bank, so I'm holding on to that.
Very fair. Do you see just back as well? How many bloody Pidgey cars are in this split? Good lord. You just go, why? That was oi, 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 bit of a moment there for King. I didn't quite catch it, but Rondinella just absolutely had to check up, does well to avoid King. I'm not even sure how King's managed to keep it pointing straight, let alone ahead of Rondinella for the time being, but if Jaden wasn't awake before, he definitely is now.
Yeah, man, he could reach out and touch that rear bumper there. Oh, no, commentator's curse.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a curse, because I like doing it like intentionally, and yes, 100% Cam. But now Jaden's got a Pridham just behind as well, so, and you know, this is for bragging, right? So, you know, skill issue, Pidgey boys. Be a bit embarrassing if the pro skill issue racer lost position to Pro-Am Pidgey boy.
Yeah, that's definitely got to put the old fire in the belly, I would imagine, to get him going. And the constant shaming on stream. I mean, I don't know what else would get him going, to be honest with you.
Not sure either, but I see my guy Damiano in the chat. What's up, Damiano? Nice to see you, mate. Definitely not dead. Yeah, 100%. It's good to see. But do see, I think he's back in the pits, CV Ty. I think that might be it. That might be wicket for Stephen Ty, which I do understand. That was a little bit unfortunate. It doesn't always, the dice do not always roll in your favor, and that is what's very, very aggressive there from Pridham. I was like, someone's either braking way too early or someone's way overshooting it here, but it's all okay. Just whoo, a little bit spicy there for a moment, Chris.
And you fired him up with the Pidgey boys and skill issue wars. He wants to score one for the home team.
Well, the thing is that Jaden should be fighting in the top 10, not in the middle of the pack here. So he's also Charatos has gotten ahead, as now he's having a look at Ryan King, and I'm pretty sure Charatos is carrying damage as well. So I think it's fair to bring out the washed label for Jaden.
Oh, it's a little bit harsh. I've raced against Pridham myself in a couple of LMU Academy races, and the man's quick. He is no slouch.
Yeah, fair. It's not actually a name I've seen before, so that the Pro-Am badge might be a little bit of a lie. I know people are hesitant to give themselves too many ups, but that is Pridham through on Rondinella. So it's not looking good for the old skill issue, guys. Just gonna say it.
No, I don't know. Is Loopy good in the rain? Is his thing, or is this wet stuff not used to an Australian sort of constitution?
I tell you what, I'm not sure, but he's about to get bloody eaten up by his Lexus as well. I will say that Jaden has a little bit of history here, as he's very, very late on the brakes there. It's very, very deep into the Vale chicane. Manages to pull it up pretty well. It's not going to be enough this time around, but yes, Jaden does have a little bit of history here. It's a little bit of Octane history as well. One of the only people to ever crash in a straight line. Jaden's done it, so I'm not sure if he's just got nerves here to just not do that again. But yeah, it's just a little bit subpar here, but. For now, Wesley Yao, though, having a look up the inside of Ben Oliver, if you don't mind. They're going to be side by side through this infield section, but the inside turns to the outside for Wesley Yao. Oliver doing a good job there, and he's going to punch the gas and let that Lexus roar off into, I would say, the sun, but there's no sun happening here right now, Chris. But
into the grey clouds.
Into the fog, if you will. Yep. See that gap? We'll see what Wesley Yao can do. Wesley Yao, a very skilled operator in our silver class. Porsche, absolutely magnificent in the wet. Be good through the twistier sections of Silverstone, especially in comparison to the Lexus. But God, that Lexus gets going when it goes.
Yeah, how's the Macca in the wet, do you find? Because I mean, I raced Silverstone last night myself in the wet, and I found it a bit twitchy at points, but I am nowhere near the skill level of these guys. So is it a skill issue from me, or is it just the Macca might not be the greatest wet car ever either?
Honestly, I haven't actually driven the Macca too much, and not particularly in the web. But I want to say with a downforce package like the Macca has, that's Oliver through on Rondinella. A bit of a mistake there, very, very deep into the first part of Maggots and Beckett's. With the downforce package that it has, I would imagine it has to be at least mid-pack in terms of its performance in the web. But Jaden does not look like he's having a good time, it must be said.
I think I'll throw him a bone. I'm going to say it's the car. It's just the car that's doing it all. Nothing to do.
Only a shit tradesman blades their tools, Chris. Come on.
All right, you got me on that one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, we've got a few Maccas up the field that are doing just fine. I mean, Pridham looked like they were doing just fine in the Macca and the wet. I just don't know what's going on with Jaden.
Ah, fair enough. We'll call it the English weather then. Not used to that. I've got to give him a bone. I've got to give him some sort of props. Oh, there's a bit of a wiggle there from Yao.
Yeah, just this onboard gives you a good vision of the lack of vision. Oh my god. Broadcaster's curse, I think that one was. Just jumping on board with Leslie Yao and just not quite on the brakes there early enough. Almost catches a nose full of Jaden's rear, if you will. Manages to steer out of it. Very nicely done by Wesley, and actually managing not to lose a position there to Kyle Billett for the time being. But damn, that was close.
Yeah, now the prediction that you made at the start of the race has come true so far. Apart from the odd incident, we're very low on penalties at the moment, and those close calls we've definitely avoided there, as we just saw.
Yeah, no, I think it's like particularly, you know, we had a few things here and there, but like the race start itself was the race start. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Austin's message in the Twitch chat, but yeah, the race start was actually quite clean. Just had a few incidents here and there, and a lot of them just came from, like, it wasn't so much silliness, it was just like racing incidents. All right, I will say, Dave Stevens, this Pidgey livery, that's pretty nice. It's a good split of colors. The colors are a little bit more refined. I like that.
I agree. It just looks like Neapolitan ice cream if blue was a thing, but
Yeah,
hey,
I'm seeing that. I'm picking that up.
bit of sprinkles in there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Pete just pointing out that Yao caught a little bit of that corner, so unsettled the car and just couldn't get it stopped up in time before. Well, he did get it, sort of wasn't going to get it stopped out in time and managed to turn out of it. So well done, Wesley. Didn't quite catch that through the lack of vision. So thank you very much, Pete. Just got a blue flag car here. I believe that was. It wasn't Ben Oliver, it was Andy Bishop, I believe. Just getting well out of the way, just all the way out on the go-kart. Oh, yeah, on the go-kart track out there for Andy Bishop. Not sure, he's not still running on those slicks, is he, Glenn? Okay, I just don't know, just gotta pull it off to the side and just start from the back. You know, pull it RTG. I don't understand. You're breaking my heart, Samir. You're breaking the car.
Well, at least if he goes on the old kart track, then he's first place temporarily.
Look, sometimes you just have to shift your perspective. That is not the line, Andy. Andy, have you heard about this one? That's not the line. Just having a bit of a woeful time out here as old Andy Bishop. Wow, okay, alright. Now we're seeing some actual nice Pidgey liveries, I will say. That's tasty, Ben Simpson. I like that one. I'll give that. Also, Joe Spencer's rocking that. I think it's like the Adidas shoe livery too. It has been for a little while. It looks so good, but fortunately just lost out there to John Rad. I think a little bit wide. Lost a bunch of speeds. John Rad just slips right through there. But a little bit of mid-pack action for you guys here. Shona just coming in with the weather report. It's going to ease up in 30 minutes, everybody. So, you know, you can kick off your wellies. It'll be just fine.
Yeah, 5 minutes of sunshine and then back to the rain again. That's about right. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, Dan Clark just mugged a little bit there. Well, I don't think Dan Clark was fighting that too hard, but Saxon Hayes just getting through. But he's got a pack of angry bees here. Ben Simpson going to look to the inside of the Vale chicane. More skill issue in Pidgey, right? God, these guys are populate the entire server. Oh, John Rad! Oh no, there's Joe Spenceley! Oh, no! What do you mean? I can't believe you've done this. Nicholson just... Is that Nicholson or Appreciato? I'm not sure, actually. We've got two Pentleys just there. Spenceley, unfortunately, copping a bit of that too, but Rad just coming in a little bit too hot through the second part of the Vale chicane. Just coming into contact with the rear of one of the cars. I can't believe that's just happened, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Bentley was supposed to do there. That's just like, what car, that car, splat. And yeah.
So that was very quick. I think the Bentley a bit unlucky there, but yeah, unfortunate, unlucky.
Oh well, at least we've got more chickens to cook.
There's a few barbecues for these chickens to be cooked on, I will say. The chooks are cooked. We're just getting that replay here. So looking at John Rad, the McLaren in the middle, we see Ben Simpson making that move there. Oh, that's ambitious, is what I will say about that. That gap I don't think was ever going to remain there for Mr. Rad, unfortunately. And then a few bystanders unfortunately copping a bit of contact there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to thread a needle with a rope, to be honest with you. It's never going to work.
Yeah, no, that was, ambitious, unfortunately. So Rad and Spenceley just going to have to tighten up the laces and... Bishop, what's Bishop doing out there again? What are you doing out there, Andy? Andy! He's just put off to the side. Andy, what are you doing, man?
I think he's just stopped with the view of more ice cream, fish and chips. He's just this is like, oh well, this is life now.
Yeah, he's joining Stevie Ty and Chris Culie in the big racetrack in the sky, it seems. Ay. What a kerfuffle. We're about halfway through, Chris, can you believe? I'm not sure if it's been a long time or if it's not been long at all.
It's got a different sort of time paradox to it. Yeah. It's just, it is what it is. What can you do, eh?
Yeah, it certainly is what it is. And speaking of is what it is, Saxon Hayes copped that drive-through penalty, I presume, for track limits. That is a little bit rough, buddy. So all of that work for naught.
Yeah, I feel he likes getting his track limits. I've seen this in a previous race, I'm sure. He likes cutting.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of times we made it Silverstone cutting, and there's a couple of places where those exits really just creep on you too. So, in the wet weather, particularly, and with a car that likes to lose its traction very much, I'm not so surprised. Wesley Yout, though, just was looking right snug under the wing of Jaden Rondinella, but Kyle Billett looks like he wants to get in on this action a little bit, I must say. Visibility is a little bit average. It's looking a little bit tenuous here. Kyle Billett, as he navigates these stormy seas of Silverstone right now. This is quite intense, this downpour, it must be said.
Yeah, I think he needs a priest, because if that was me, you're just going on those corners in pure faith alone.
Yeah, priest or Moses. Yeah, the faith has run out there for Wesley Yao, just so wide. We're at about the wettest part of the day's events, I think. So these guys are struggling, and with slightly less cars in the field, the water's getting pushed off even less. So Jay Sweeney just chiming in, saying the conditions are a joke. Yeah. It's looks difficult out there, it must be said, but honestly, wet racing is very, very fun, it must be said. So, also, I mean, come on, it's England. It's just normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely yeah, childhood memories for me. But I don't know. I think there's two people that are definitely enjoying. Well, I'd say three people. The top three have got such gaps in between everything that they've probably got a bit of clean air to race through, and they're probably enjoying themselves. But yeah, everyone else, it's just a bit of a show.
Yeah, I think. Geez, you just reminded me that Lucas Keys is racing in this race. Patrick Johnson's also racing in this race. Aiden Squires is in this race too. Oh wow, I haven't seen these guys in ages. Benny V just enjoying a bit of fresh air too. Lovely British Sunday afternoon drive, if you don't mind. Brian Kong also in a little bit of free air.
Yeah, no, I think these guys are pretty much set now for the rest of the race, as long as they don't make any silly mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. There's just a little bit of a pace differential between these guys. So unless there's some serious mistakes or some incidents with blue flagging, I think it's our top five is relatively all said and done. Does look like he is starting to come to the back of the field there, but it's still a little bit of space between himself and the 75 and 164, I believe that was. But for the time being, we're gonna sling it on back to the mid pack for a little bit of this action. Charitos charging on here with that bit of damage that he's got, sizing up Ibrahim Bank for the time being. I do think actually, since we've been looking around, Price Davies has actually gotten through on Bank, and Ryan King would have as well. So Ibrahim just on the defensive now. Got a few people in form right here, looking to make a move potentially.
Yeah, it must be tricky for him trying to get back his positions whilst also defending as well, and also dealing with the track conditions. It's a bit of a trifecta going on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, Wesley Yao slings it around the outside, but pulls it up a little bit early. It's actually quite deep there for Jaden, getting all the way out onto that curb. Not sure you need to do that so much. Wesley Yao looks to get to the side, door to door with Jaden, but he's already taken off. Down hanger straight. Don't just hang on that curve for too long, Jaden. You know what happens. But it looks like a great run, actually, for Wesley Yao. Not going to be quite this time, but Wesley does look like he has a little bit of speed on Jaden. Just really struggling for the time being.
Yeah, he also doesn't have the disadvantage of those McLaren brakes. He can definitely pull it up in a shorter time than the Mackie can.
Yeah, Porsche. Absolutely sublime on the brakes. Great race car. I understand why everyone is like that about the Porsche. Why does that keep happening when we go on board with Wesley? Ay. Yeah, that visibility is not great right behind a car. Wesley's gonna have to build that gap. Well, break that gap back down and try again. That's a little bit rough, but again, great job avoiding Jaden. Jaden feeling a bit lucky, I guess.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for him because clearly he's got the pace in that particular section and just not enough to get past.
Yeah, 100%. You do, particularly against, well, let me rephrase that thought before I say it out loud. You generally need a bit of pace over a car and head just to make an easy overtake, but someone as good as Jaden is going to place their car just right to make it difficult enough for you that you're really going to struggle to get by unless he makes a mistake. And while Jaden's pace hasn't looked incredible, and we have seen him gone deep once or twice, it seems like everyone's having a little bit of that trouble with the conditions the way they are. So really tricky. And yeah, just that aero wash and the spray when you're that close behind another car makes it really difficult to actually get something pulled off here.
Yeah, it looks like Banks made up a place from somebody. I'm not too sure who, but he's gone back through.
Yes, Brian King has fallen back. Actually, yeah, we've got eyes on King now behind Charitos, so something's happened there with the number 46 Lexus. So we'll see what happens. Fridham just so late on the brakes. We've seen that once or twice, but just must have some massive pace because he's getting it pulled up and slung around just fine. But every time I hold my breath for a second, but he's all fine.
Yeah, it feels dicey, but yeah, the man's got pace. He's definitely got big something, that's for sure. If he's willing to sort of rely on those brakes.
Yeah, very much so. We'll see how he navigates this pack here. This is just shy of the top 10, so it would be nice for him if he could get up there. We're just getting a replay here of what happened to Ryan King. So P11 as this starts, but we know that nothing good is coming of this clip. Out on the curbs, and yeah, we see that one coming. Oy, oy, oy. Just trying to get it slowed up on the curbs is not really going to happen. That's a little bit of a spicy meatball of a rejoin, it has to be said. I think Ryan is a little bit lucky that nothing happened there, because that was how you're going, to say the least.
It'd be a shame if we had some stewards on the stream to see that one.
Wow, Glenn the snitch guy. Glenn incredulous in my ear. Oh, Ryan, just a big wiggle again there. Not going to do anything for his chances of retaking these positions, but yeah, just really struggling. Ryan is at the moment. I think still just incredibly wet, but don't worry, guys. In 30 minutes time, the rain's only going to be light. And
ooh, there's a couple sideways.
Silverstone drifts. Jeez, I'm just really struggling with that entry into Village. Is Ryan? I think he needs to make sure he's braking in a straight line, otherwise he's really encouraging the car to get a little bit sideways. But for somehow, some way, he's gotten a run on Ibrahim here and brakes so late.
Oh, it's going to be dangerous.
Yes, there's a bit of a tap, and oh, off goes King. That was interesting. King was very late on the brakes there and managed to get pulled up in front of Bank. I'm not entirely sure about that one.
Yeah, you see, this is why I wouldn't be a steward. I'd be analysing this for the next 20 minutes over racing incident or penalty. But yeah. I'm going to stick my my neck out and say that was a racing incident. I don't think Bank could do anything in the weather conditions.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens there. I'm not going to stake a claim on that one. I think there's more than meets the eye there, because yeah, I'm not. Bank was still braking for the corner, like as far as I can see. But obviously, stewards get the onboards. I can see the inputs. We'll see what comes from that. But yeah, it was very very ambitious from Ryan King, I will say, and I don't mean that in the subtly negative way. I think it was an interesting move, to say the least. Oi, big slide, and through goes Oliver.
Yeah, I think that may have unsettled him a little, but Pridham's definitely a winner there, up to P12 now from P14.
Oh, he's just gotten through on all of them, pretty much, except for Charitos.
If I can read colours correctly, which I might not be able to, he's now third in class.
It does appear that way, yes. So this is actually a podium battle between Price Davies, Charitos, and Pridham. Price Davies well ahead though, just inside the top 10 too, so it's going to be a very nice result for Price Davies. A nice haul of points there too. Dave Stevo, actually, you haven't seen much of him, but currently leading Silver Class P8 as well, if you don't mind, which is very nice. We'll say just sneakily, McKellar, though, actually only half a second from the back of Mansell. So this could be on here very, very shortly, just as we come to the latter stages of this race. And yes, so we saw McKellar tied up in that incident earlier with Stephen Ty, so it's been a nice, I wouldn't call it a recovery drive, because it's not like McKellar fell all the way down, but it's been a good job by McKellar just managing here.
Yeah, no, it's got to put your sort of confidence off a little bit and rally you a little bit when you're involved in that kind of incident. So to hold on to the place is still a good effort.
100%, and he's got that front splitter damage, and a car as reliant as on its aero as the Ferrari is, so probably not feeling super fantastic in these conditions. But yeah, McKellar doing very, very well here, so we'll see if he can have a good crack at Mansell in the coming moments. But unfortunate news from the front lines. Ben Oliver saw him get that easy position on young Ibrahim Bank, but it is going to be a drive through, I presume, for attack limits for Ben, which is a little bit rough.
Oh, at this point, that drive-through is going to put him way to the back. Do you reckon he'll just drive in and not drive through, or what do you reckon?
Look, there's still a third of the race to go. Just trying to think. I think the transit time for Silverstone's pit is pretty long, so yeah, it's gonna hurt because you can see there's only a handful of seconds between himself and the cars behind up until about Daniel Clark. There's 10 seconds back there, so, and then another 9 to Appreciato down in 20 seconds. So yeah, I think there's still points to be had, and if you care about the overall championship standings, you'd probably keep going. If you're racing just for the fun of it and taking each race by race, and you're a busy person, you might pull up stumps. Jaden still holding down the fort in P15. Say what you will about this man, he's got P15 absolutely locked down. Where's the Yar cannot do a thing about Jaden Rondinella in P15.
As you say, though, still a third of the race left. Well, just under, but can he defend for this third of the race?
See, but that's the thing. That's the problem. We're talking about Jaden. We're talking about a pro driver, and we're talking about defending P15. We're not talking about making any moves up. We're not talking about podiums. We're not talking about top 10s, Jaden. We're talking about P15.
Well, he can see Banks, so maybe. Oh, not like that. Not like that.
Not the line, my friend. Maybe just throwing in this one in. Jaden might be a little bit tired, weary from a day of work. You know how it is.
No, not really. I had a nap earlier, so I told Glenn, so I'm refreshed.
Well, I'm glad that someone is looking a little bit further down the field here. Another skill issue car. Just a couple of Bentleys here too. We do see Appreciato in that Valvoline Bentley rocking that front damage. Spenceley in tow, also rocking that front damage. Couple of chickens here, if you don't mind. These guys are having... It's been a little bit of a tough one. Just coming to blows earlier through no fault of their own. Saw that incident. We'll see. I feel like Ben Simpson was a bit further ahead than this last time we caught up, because he was ahead of these guys when that incident happened too. So I'm not sure if something happened to Ben, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything myself, but it's all change at the back for sure. While things are all 1, 2, 3 at the front and not changing, it's definitely a bit more spicy down the field.
Yeah, 100%. These guys on a tow rope right now are very close together. Spenceley just lining up Appreciato, and Nicholson looking to get on this action too. So we'll see what can be done. This Porsche should be pretty nice as we come through this trickier infield section in comparison to the Bentley, but it's hard having that confidence when you've had a few incidents here and there. A little bit of a wiggle on entry for Joe, but it's nice and tight, especially in comparison to Appreciato. A little bit deep there. See what kind of drive these guys can get out of the loop and through Aintree, and it's looking like great drive for Spenceley. Or what's happened there? I think there might have been a bit of a wiggle on Spenceley's. Just had to pull out of that one slightly.
Yeah, no, it's he's got to watch out from behind though. I remember Nicholson from last season, and the man is not afraid to make a move.
For better or for worse?
For air or not for air. So yeah, no, he'll go for it.
100%. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
100%. No, he's definitely, it was a weapon in the academy. So oh.
God, this is brave. God, this is brave by Joe. Nicholson, though, looking to find that inch to take that mile in the rear view. Oh, just as we come through Maggots, it's nice and committed there from Spenceley. It's looking a little bit trepidatious from Appreciato, but doing just okay. It looks like a nicer line there for Appreciato through just that final section of the Beckett's and the Chapel curve. So a little bit of a gap, a little bit of breathing room here for Wilk as they head on down to Stowe.
If you can close it up, maybe you can get him into Vale, because that's a better braking zone. I don't know what the Bentley brakes are like. I've never driven that belt myself.
No, I've not had too much time, but God, Nicholson's looking to get involved here significantly, and I think Spenceley's just gotten a little bit, something's gone a little bit haywire there, and the brake all crossed up into the braking zone, just lost that position to Nicholson.
Yeah, I think the Bentleys have ganged up on him and beaten him for his lunch money, for the looks of it.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a pretty racy looking Coca-Cola Mustang just behind that's probably going to get it on the section 2 if Joe's not too careful. Joe now going to have to look in front and behind as we come back around through this midfield section. 5 cars in a line, if you don't mind. Oh, Joe, just looking dangerous here for Joe.
Yeah, both the left and the right of him, or front and back if you want to butcher the lyrics. But yeah.
I do see Ben Oliver currently serving that drive-through that we unfortunately noted earlier. Nicholson, though, looking very, very racy just in the back of Joe. We're going to get a little bit of a replay here. So this is Joe Spenceley and Nicholson, as we just saw. So just a little bit crossed up for Joe Spenceley, very deep into the braking zone. Nicholson gets it nice and tight, keeps it nice and tight, sorry, and just scoots on through. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's definitely being the third man in the equation there and just taking full advantage of it. And
Joe's having a bit of a look there. Nothing doing just yet, but a little bit deep there for Wilk as well. So I don't think this is done whatsoever, Chris.
No, I'd definitely say that if you're a betting man, you would like to put some bets on Nicholson, I think. But yeah, it's not gonna go quietly, I don't think.
It looks like Venega's looking to get involved here, and he's actually got the inside line as we come down to Stowe. Just make sure you keep that line nice and tight. Don't wash out wide into Joe, and Joe's lost out again. Unfortunately, Nicholson having a look to the inside, just getting all up in the mirrors of Wilk, but Wilk not biting for that one. Oh, and it's a little bit deep there for Venega, and it's going to invite Spenceley back to the outside. It's going to be very, very shallow for Ashley through Club onto the Hamilton straight, and Joe's got a little bit of a run, but that Porsche power is not that much in comparison to the Mustang. I think Ashley's going to be just okay. But while that's all happening, Nicholson's gotten by Appreciato. We didn't even see. It's just as well. They're door to door as they're coming inside. That's Lucas Keys just there too. Oh God, who's Ben Simpson? Joe's lost this position. Ben Simpson's through on Joe. Lucas Keys is just trying to drive by, fighting for the absolute life. Benninger's off. Wilkes through. Ben Simpson's through. Lucas Keys is still just trying to drive through, and that is so much front damage for Veneca. Oh no, it's all come crashing down. God, just let him through. Just let the man through.
Oh, Lucas there is the agent of chaos. Yeah, that was... yeah.
Wait, Joe Spenceley's in the front now. How did Joe get to the front? Joe's just absolutely laughing right now. He's just got like 4 positions back. Ay.
I don't know what to say. Pure agent of chaos there.
Come on, Joe, be good. Yeah, good stuff. Let him through.
I mean, he owes him for those 4 positions, doesn't he?
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, Lucas was very much in the passenger seat through all that. That was wild stuff. Oy. We've got a car slowed up a little bit, number 89. I will say I've got another pit side reporter just telling me that Ben Vinton is actually catching Aiden Squires with some good pace here. Apparently 7/10 a lap or something like that. And if we do look, it is only a second gap to Benny V. So I don't think these podium positions are quite as locked down as we said earlier, but enough on that for the moment. Just looking back at what happened here. So Joe Spencer gets out of the way for Lucas Keys. Ben Simpson just says thanks for that position, mate. Lucas still trying to drive on through here, but we're keeping that vision on Joe Spencer to see how he got all the way up there. I do believe there's going to be contact with Wilk and Ashley Vedica as they come through the exit here. Lucas forced off the track. Joe just shoots on through, gets a better run. I think Ben had to pull up a little bit here and just drive straight on. But I think Wilk maybe trying to redress that position for Ashley Vedica, but Vedica's just nowhere to be found. So there's nothing to be done there, unfortunately, for Wilk and Joe, just the winner and all that.
That was just a pure mugging. No other way of putting it.
Yeah, just, you know what? It's good karma for blue flagging properly.
I mean, yeah.
Look, you are entitled to your racing and your space, but Lucas was caught up in that for quite some time, it must be said.
Yeah, I think the Bentleys were more worried about each other than Lucas, and yeah, that just got lost in the mix, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you what, did make it quite interesting. And speaking of interesting, this is definitely heating up. I'm not sure what's going on with Aiden in that 67 Mustang, but Ben Vinton has just got his number right now. 8 minutes to go. The gap's down to less than half a second.
Yeah, but the question would be, was he just coasting a little bit, making it nice and safe, knowing that he had the position and now put his foot back down again, or?
Not sure. It's hard to be said. We haven't been keeping in touch too much with what's been going on in the front. We did just get reacquainted with Lucas Keys again after not seeing him for a little while, but I don't think it's in the circumstances that he would have liked to see so much. Yet to hear a peep from Patrick Johnston, but for now our eyes are glued to these guys. Looking at that gap that's just formed a little bit, I do wonder if maybe Aiden had just put it in cruise control slightly and now he's realized, oh damn, I need to put the pedal to the metal again here, otherwise Benny V is gonna be all over my backside at the moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. You want to hold on to the podium position. I say he's got it. I don't think there's enough time left in the race, given these two's skill levels, that he'll get them done.
Oh, Benny V wants it bad. You see, just entering from stage left with a little bit of a slide coming through. It's not the fastest, but damn, it looks good. So we'll see how Aiden holds off this charge from Ben Vintner. Yeah, it is going to be difficult here. I think Aiden's not going to make this easy, and the points situation in Split Yellow is pretty, it's tough going. There's some seriously good races in here, so you really need to hold on to everything you can get, and Aiden knows that for sure, so see if he can hold on. And I mean, obviously it's a podium position. You love a podium position. No one likes fourth. You know what fourth is? The first of the non-podium positions. I was going to say first of the losers, but people say that about second, so didn't really work out the way I wanted to. These guys, meanwhile, also still battling. Mansell actually doing a great job, still holding off McKellar after all this time. I think we haven't checked in with these guys for about 10 minutes, and Mansell just still holding off McKellar.
I think if our mid-race commentating on Rondinella showed us anything, is if you've got the skills, you can defend quite well in this track.
I will say, because I've been very, very mean to Jaden thus far. Maybe not very mean, but he's up to P13. He has made some moves here, so I don't know why I was just saying anything other than 13th is last, but
you really had to chew on that to get that out, didn't you? It really hurt.
No. I love Jaden. Jaden, great bloke. But I just know he could do better. You know. 100%, Glenn. 100%. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. Look. No, I'm not gonna go. I'm putting it down. I'm leaving it alone. We're going to talk about the people that are actually battling here. Mansell doing a great job here, fighting off this charge from McKellar. I don't think it's going to be enough, obviously, into the last 5 minutes of this race. Only a handful of laps to go. It's been a bit arduous here and there. The rain's not ceasing until this race is very much said and done. These guys have done a very good job to navigate the seas of Silverstone here. Season 25, I believe this is round 4 of our Thermaltake sprint series. I cannot believe we're at a quarter century of seasons here just for ACC, which is pretty wild, but we keep doing it, you keep playing it, we'll keep doing it. Must be said.
No, it's definitely got the legs, this game. I don't see it going anywhere for the next few years, for sure. Or simulator, should I say.
McKellar just not quite able to do anything against Mansell. It's just keeping that gap. It's so hard. You can close up as much as you like, but that last couple of tenths is just absolutely the hardest part to close up. Charitos, in the meantime, absolutely fighting for his life against Pridham. We've seen some excellent pace, and what's going on there? That was a little bbit interesting.
That looked like a redress to me, and then Pridham just comes straight on back through. I don't know.
Yeah, that was... I don't know, because he just kind of... I hate to say it like it was, but just kind of drove off the track. Is the car looking a little bit more damaged than it was?
I mean, it could definitely do with a trip to the body shop, that's for sure, but...
It is looking slightly secondhand, but Charitos has been nursing damage for quite some time, but I'm wondering if it's looking a little bit rougher than it was. We'll see if Glenn turns anything over in the recent history of this race, potentially, but as far as I'm aware, not so much. But for the time being, Pridham straight up through on Charitos. Rondinella, this is your time, mate. 7 seconds. In 2 minutes, you can do it.
That'd be some damage, I'm afraid. But Pridham's now up to P2 in his class, so he's done really well.
100%. I think it's a nice Pro-Am podium here, just outside, top 10th position, just outside the top 10 for the rest of them. So getting a little bit of a replay here on the curbs. That's very deep into village, so we're door to door as we're coming through the loop. It's so wide from Pridham, but manages to get it pointing the right way. But Charitos just... That's interesting. I think he might have gotten a little bit spooked there because he's turned right off the track. But yeah, just no traction out there on that painted concrete, so has had no run. And a little bit of grass doesn't help your case either.
No, they were definitely taking turns to dance on the curbs there and run wide, so it just looked like Pridham ended up being the winner there.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like with the pace that Pridham's got, and with the damage that Charitos has as well, I don't think that's... don't know if that one's up for contention in this last minute or so of this race.
Yeah, and just looking at the field as well, Benny V is still sort of 8 tenths behind Squires, so I don't think he's getting that position either.
Yeah, it's he's done a very valiant job just to catch up all the way to Aiden. But yeah, I do think Aiden probably had a little bit left in the tank. Might have been taking it a little bit easy while there wasn't too many people around. But I do think this is actually, by the way, going to be our last racing lap. You blink and it's over. That's very ambitious from Ben Vinton. He wants his position so bad, but he's running out of time and running out of track.
He's only getting that if there's a problem with the blue flags, and I don't think there will be. These guys know what they're doing.
Actually, I think we're going to have one more lap. I think Lucas is just coming around that last corner, but I think he actually has the time in hand to slow down if he wants to. But knowing Lucas, he's never going to do that. That doesn't look like slowing down to me.
But he just sets the fastest lap, so definitely not slow.
Yeah, no. So one more racing lap, one more time around. Ben Vincent, you've been given another chance, if you will, but you are 8 tenths behind, so you're going to have to pull some magic out of the hat.
Yeah, no. With
and McKellar also with an extra chance here, one more life, and they've still got a bit more track to go, being a bit further down the field.
Oh, that has got to be. If you look at the old tower, Banks just picked up a DT on the last lap.
No, that's so rough. No, I can't believe it.
Okay, I'm going to go into hiding. I definitely have cursed him there from earlier on in the race. I do apologise, Mr. Banks.
Nah, that's mine. That was fine. I'll wear that one. Jaden's still holding it down in P13 though, so it's just he's left Wesley Yao behind. I will say that. At least he's done that. Yeah, Oi. What a race this has been, Chris. We've seen it all. We've laughed, we've cried, we've, just there's so much.
Shame dropping.
Do you remember Stephen Dye was here earlier and then he got deaded? Chris Culie was also here and then he got deaded.
What was there? Was it the Ferrari that also got deaded? Oh, no. It was the Coca-Cola of...
Ashley Vediga also got deaded.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, also got deaded at the end.
Yeah. But not deaded is Lucas Keys, despite taking the WRC line just through the last corner there, but manages to hold on through all of that blue flag shenanigans at the Sea of Silverstone 2026. That is going to be a handy win for Lucas Keys. These guys still going hammer and tong all the way up to the line. Patrick Johnson just about to cross as well. It's a solid effort from him. P2 well in control of that position throughout the race, despite his best efforts. Cannot catch Lucas Keys though. These guys also still fighting. Ben Vintner closed that gap up over this last lap, but it's not going to be enough. Aiden Squires does just enough to hold on to P3. It's podium for Aiden. Ben Vintner just loses out this time. A very valiant effort. These guys coming into the last section, Mansell and McKellar, have been hammer and tong for about 25 minutes. Line astern, foot in lockstep, if you will, sorry, but it does look like Mansell's done just enough to hold on to P6. Brian Kong also, if you forgot, Brian Kong from that penalty into P5, but Mansell does manage to finish over McKellar. Great race from McKellar as well, with all of that damage that he was managing throughout the entire time. Charados has closed that gap back up to Pridham after we saw all of that interesting business through the infield section, but it does look like Pridham is going to hold on. Cuts just enough. Charados takes the inside line, a little bit of flashing if you don't mind. It's second and third in class, 10th and 11th overall. And who doesn't ever...
He's made up a place.
It's everyone's favorite Jaden Rondinella, P12 for Jaden. It's of our finishing pro cars, looks like last in the field, but it does have to be said there has been a little bit of attrition through this race. Wowie. What a race. You couldn't write that if you tried.
Nope, I could not, but definitely a fun one. I definitely enjoyed my time in the box today, and it was a very interesting race.
Hold on. Can I get these results? Oh my god. I can't...
Did he DT himself on the last lap?
No, Lucas Keys, number 22, we just got the message in, has been disqualified for using a bug that will be fixed later. So, your winner is Patrick Johnson. Would you believe? What?
No, I don't believe. I do not believe. What has he done? Yeah.
What has he done? I don't even know what you do. Anyway, we'll read through it properly. Take us back to the top, please, Glenn. So, Patrick Johnson is your winner, apparently. Aiden Squires inherits P2, and Ben Vinton are on the podium, if you don't mind. Well done, Ben. That's P3. Brian Kong and Mansell moves into the top 5 overall. Your silver class is going to be Dave Stevenson. Very nice racer, Dave. Didn't see much of him, but that means it was nice and clean. Ben Piper and Ryan King on the podium for your silver class. And your Pro-Am, Price Davies takes the win in the Pro-Am class, followed by Pridham and Charitos. Great racing from those guys all the way through. Yeah, what a race. That was interesting, to say the least. Do you have a driver of the day, Chris?
It's tough. I'm going to give it to Pridham because he's only just come out of academy, and that's some stellar racing, especially in difficult conditions.
Oh, for real? Yeah, that is seriously, yeah. And some of those moves just so aggressive, and it takes some confidence to be that aggressive and still keep control of your car. So that is a good shout.
And keeping it clean as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to McKellar this time around. I think that was hard going early on to take that damage, and we just saw him keep it clean, keep the pressure on the whole time. It's a nice race. So big shout out to McKellar. But that is going to be it from Chris and I for Split Yellow. I believe we'll be handing over to Cam Thistlethwaite and Sean Muller in a moment for some iRacing, if I'm not mistaken. It was a pleasure to call with you, Chris. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you everyone for watching. Big shout out to all the team that makes this happen, Stewards and Glenn. And we'll kick over to a short break, and then you'll be on for some iRacing.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to a bit of Wednesday night racing action. And of course, you are watching the Thermaltake GT3 iRacing Cup. That is a mouthful. I'm sure we'll come up with a better abbreviation. But we are at a very interesting circuit. We are at, I'm going to call it, well, it could call it Narnia, you could call it Navarra, or as I like to call it, Nirvana. We've got GT3 racing action. I am Sean Miller, of course, and joining me in the box is the one and only the boss, the big boss, Cam Thistlewaite. Mr. Thistlewaite, how are you this evening?
I'm very good, thank you. Oh, as we just cut to a Mercedes getting also close to the barrier, but yeah, very excited to be here. Track that I don't know about. I'm guessing maybe something that you haven't commentated on in your history, but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one here. The Nirvana circuit. You know what it smells like. Team Spirit potentially. I don't really think so. For all the sweaty sim races, got it in early. I'm trying to think what else we got. Breed. I'm failing to remember a few of them right now, but getting in a little bit early right now. But here in the Los Arcos, Navarra region of Spain for this track. Interesting track. 15 turns, just under 4 kilometers in this configuration. It looks like we've got 25 cars out there.
Definitely 25 cars. So yeah, tick under 4 kilometers. It's a real classic Spanish style bike circuit. It is a bike circuit. Very popular with the motorcycle. Spain is probably the biggest motorcycle racing country on planet Earth. They literally breed them like a production line. I've seen it. It's literally just a line, and they just pump out kids and they throw them straight on a 50cc two-stroke. But yeah, 25 cars tonight. Should be a good round, 45 minutes, so a bit of a standard operating procedure here for the GT3s, and it is my man Joshua Struick leading the way. Geesh, what a guy. Currently in qualifying, he's got a nice little gap too, 2.5 seconds, 2.5, God, 2.5, 2 tenths, we'll go with that, over Ryan Ball. Glory baby there in third. Will Hammond in fourth, some bloke named Lucas Keys there in fifth. Benjamin Hignett in sixth position in the Lamborghini. I'm sure we'll see plenty of action from Mr. Hignett. Chrissy Taylor there in 7th, Australia former cricket captain Michael Clark in 8th, Leo Dreyer in 9th, and John Paul Young. Oh, that's so got to be John Paul Young. I've got to change that, seriously. Yep. And John Yalong there in 10th position. So that is our top 10 at the moment. And as I was saying, we are at the Navarra region in Spain. Very famous wine growing region. They grow a lot of Tempranillo here as well. And of course, it is close to the home of the Sangria. If you haven't noticed sangria, do yourself a favour. It is a top quality drink. And we've still got 5 minutes remaining in qualifying. What are we expecting this evening here, Cam? I'm not sure. This one's a bit of an unpredictable one.
Yeah, hard to say. I don't think we're privy to the variability in the weather that the rest of this week's splits are susceptible to. Obviously, everywhere taking place on Silverstone for LMU and ACC. Obviously, freshly come off that split yellow, but yeah, looking like a nice day in this part of Spain. And yeah, I'm not too up to my speed on bikes, but yeah, Spanish is probably right up there in terms of like the #1 country for bike racing. Probably followed closely, I would wager, by the old Italians as well when it comes to being. I've been watching actually a little bit of MotoGP stuff just as of late, just out of curiosity. Nice to always do a bit of research on series that you don't know, kind of soak up more knowledge. But yeah, as we're following Ryan Borg here going into turn 1, I'm not too sure of the standings right now. I'm not sure if we have a updated standings for the series. Obviously, we are at round 3. We should be on round 4 technically, but unfortunately last week Alton Park was postponed due to the iRacing maintenance that fell us last Wednesday. So that has been moved back into the gap that we did have for the mid-season break. So there is no 1 week off after this week. So it will be Alton Park on May the 6th right now. But yeah, looking forward to how this one goes. This track's, I watched it on board, looked kind of cool. I would take this over Valencia any day, throw that place in the bin, frankly. But it does look like it is a little bit easy to go over the track limits watching some of these drivers circulate around this place.
As we are jumping on board now, it's always good to jump on with Ryan Borg. We'll get ourselves a real sort of idea of how to go faster around here. A lot of tight corners, a lot of long radius corners as well, which is really that classic sort of bike circuit characteristic. So you really have to drive the car very differently at a bike circuit. The only one you probably drives unsimilar is Phillip Island. It is very much a flowing circuit, but this is, as you can see, you sort of brake there and then you're running out a little bit wide, get the nose back in, and then really important to get the power down. This section here actually reminds me a lot of a Misano. It's got that Misano sort of vibe about it. A little bit of Portimao about it as well, so it's got a little bit of undulation as well uphill here, so again, retraction super important, and as you can see, the long radius corners, so that is basically outside tyre killer. These tyres, I reckon after 45 minutes going to feel a bit meh, but of course no tyre change as well, so no pit stop strategy. We do have the one and only Joshua Holmes joining us in the box, so we get a bit of a smooth South African accent in the box, and he'll be all across all the permutations that come with iRacing and its strange sort of little quirks that it has. So tyre wear here, Josh, is it big, small, not really? Excellent chat, great chat, really in depth there. Really benchmark analysis. There we go.
Okay, sweet. Tyre wear here. I'm gonna be just as much in the dark here as you guys, because the GT3s actually haven't run yet. So what we do know is that a lot of the drivers are going to be running either handcrafted setups because there's nothing out there, or they're going to be trying to use another high downforce track, maybe something similar to like Okayama setup from there that they'll just try and reuse here. So in terms of track tire dig and all that, I have no clue. I mean, we're basically gonna find out tonight. Will be
Excellent.
our data learnings there.
Yep, that's what we like to hear. So if we get to about 35 minutes, we see tyre blowouts here, right? We know that, oh, maybe there is some tyre wear out there. So we are looking at our current provisional pulsator Joshua Streak on screen in that gorgeous, gorgeous Castro 992 GT3R. That is, we don't need to look at any other car on track there, Glenn. I am more than happy to look at this thing all day.
Yeah,
What a
lovely to see that thing
bit
out
of
there.
machinery.
Bit of a change of livery from his running his I think black or purple livery in the first couple of rounds, but I think I've been seeing in this, and I think he ran it for the IRACING Enduro that we had at Adelaide, and he comes into the pits, which interestingly cuts out pretty much nearly two corners, and as he nearly overshoots, almost Laguna Seca-esque pit entry somewhat there, so might have to be a little bit watch out. Ooh, Mercedes right on the exit there. That's not really ideal for some of these guys, but it looks like we have just ticked over the last of the minute, so looks like everyone might be coming back in if they haven't, if they're not going to finish their laps with, out there. Benjamin Hignett, as we've seen out there, thanks to Josh telling me that he's not enjoying this place too much right now, but currently Josh Stewart right at the top there, yeah, just ahead of Brian Borg, our race 1 winner. I imagine probably, yes, still at the top of the standings. Thank you very much to Josh for sending me those. Two Joshes, this is not ideal. Thank goodness one is in the box with us and one's out track, if I don't have to think too much more on that one. But yeah, looking forward to see how things go. And ooh, one of the Shell Porsches just unfortunately coming across a little bit not ideally there, as we look to John Paul Young, as you I've now christened him, Sean. That's the rules. I'm sorry, we don't make those decisions. That's just how it is. Sorry, buddy, but great to see you. Someone from the Philippines, Paulo Yalung. We will just make sure we acknowledge your name in the Tic Tac livery. I think that WRT that put out on Imola. So. Yeah, so I think WRT are doing a whole bunch of tribute liveries this year for their WEC.
Which is really cool.
It is very cool. I'm excited to see what they come out, and even at IMSA this week, we've seen all the Corvettes and the old style liveries as well as I think one of the Mustangs. So very cool to see out there. Retro liveries always get the big thumbs up from a lot of people as these guys cross the line. We're watching Jada Rondinella in the Castrol livery as well, so that's not going to be confusing for us in the comms booth, as it looks like he crosses the line. Maybe no big improvement up into P11. Good stuff for Jaden. Not enjoying his Silverstone race, I imagine, less tonight, but maybe you can find some success here at Spain.
That is qualifying Rondon. It will be my man Jeesh, or Joshua Stewart. I call him Jeesh. He's known as Jeesh. He'll be on pole position. Ryan Borg there in second. Really good season from Ryan Borg so far. Showed some real pace at every track so far. Glory Baby, we know what he brings to the table. Will Hammond, we know how quick Will is. Lucas Keys, okay, the kid. Epic operator Benjamin Hignett, Connor Archer, former Australian cricket captain Michael Clark, Chrissy Taylor, and William Coleman are your 10 at the moment. And just outside the 10 is Luti and Leo Dreyer and John Paul Young, lovers in the air. Had to get it out. And then John McAdam, Matthew Barry, Craig Buss, Graham Hill. Ooh, it's a little further down for Graham Hill than I expected. Simon Cameron, Angelo Cios, Robert Brickley, Timmy Craggle, Damien Meyer, Matthew McAllister, Pedro Padro, butchered that one, Jacob Fleming, Benjamin Archer, and some bloke named Joshua Holmes is off the back in the 24 because he's in the safety car. Hopefully he doesn't have to drive this evening.
No, probably picking apart the minibar in the E-Class, I imagine. Slowly and surely. That's why his mic wasn't working earlier. Didn't want to hear his... Didn't want to, have the peanut racket crackling on mic. But, as they form up on the grid.
I was just going to say, looking at the grid here, there are Porsches and Lambos and everywhere. There's a couple of AMGs, but you get the feeling this might be a Porsche track.
A little bit, yeah.
There is a noteworthy change that I think. So that update that prevented us from running last week was a pretty extensive back-end BOP change, like just baseline BOP change. And what it has done is brought in a lot more of the mid-engine cars into play, as iRacing used to be quite front-engine dominated. So yeah, the drivers will be effectively running with a new BOP. So we might see some drivers doing exceptionally well, and others struggling out there a little bit. What I have seen though isn't anything like super drastic, so it's not going to like absolutely ruin front engine vehicles. They're still quite competitive. In fact, they are looking like the top runners for the upcoming Nords 24 hour this weekend. So they're still definitely competitive vehicles, but maybe that's something to do with what we're seeing here tonight as well.
Yeah, it should be quite interesting. And notice we are absent one of the top man in the AMG, Mr. John McAdam is also not here tonight, as well as Dylan Smith also in chat, another AMG driver, so might be a bit of a reason why we're seeing all those Porsches and Lambos up the front, but I think they would have been there regardless. And you can even look at the standing as well. The top four is 3 Porsches headed up by the Lamborghini of Ryan Borg, and so doing very well in this series. I think he won the first round and came second in the second race. So not too surprising, he is right there at the front, but followed pretty closely by Glory Babby, who had a really good spar, that's for sure.
Yes, and as we will check our Thermaltake weather wall, yes. So currently 3 km/h winds, 33 ambient, 22 ambient, my mistake. 969 hectopascals, that's very important. 47%, yep, 47% chance of race. No, that's great. Is that humidity? Oh, there you go. Well, what's the rain droplet? That's confusing as.
Yeah, I know. Caught me out as well.
A little bit cloudy, and track temp is 35 degrees, so really nice sort of time to go racing. You always like a little bit of cloud cover on the track as well. Just brings that track temp down a little bit and doesn't cook the tyres as much. So it's a beautiful day here in España, and looking forward to 45 minutes of awesome GT3 racing action. Of course, coming up tomorrow, the racing doesn't stop here at OLR. We have got LMU, they're off to Silverstone, and then across in ACC land, it will be Split Blood. And if you watched last week's race, Split Blood is must watch now. It is much watched television. It is brilliant. Not in a good way, but it is brilliant. I'll just say that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we've got the Friday night, of course, the ELMS series. I'll pop over to Silverstone. And then I don't believe there is any racing on Saturday due, I think, because a lot of drivers are participating in the iRacing Nürburgring 24 hour. So jump along with all your favourite streamers in OLR and follow along, give them some good luck. I certainly will be tuning into a few teams because I do enjoy watching it. I do enjoy racing the Nürburgring, but I don't have iRed. But it's always a good watch as well. So, and all the big streamers normally race it, so it is a lot of fun. Are you racing, Mr. Jones? I believe you are.
Yeah. So we have a team of 4. It'll be Chris Taylor, Ben Hignett, and Tim Purcell. Myself will be running in a Aston So it should be fun.
Come on, promote your stream, promote yourself. This is what we're here for.
I will post it in the streams thing on the weekend if people are interested. But yeah, it generally ends up pretty manic banter by the 12th hour. So yeah, should be fun.
Definitely looking forward to it. So I think we are coming around to about to get this bad boy underway as the safety car will pull off to the world's longest pit lane. And Joshua Stroke will take control of the field. Of course, GT3 Racing, for those who don't know, and if you don't, what have you been doing? It is a side-by-side start. You must pass through your pit box, and of course you cannot pass any other car before the control line. Otherwise, our fantastic stewarding team will whack you with their whacking stick. And I do believe it's gold-plated after split red last week, but we are racing as we head off down to turn 1 in the Thermaltake GT3 Cup here on iRacing at Circuit Navarra. And Joshua Strook's got a really nice start there, looking very strong as Glory Baby will pop into second position as they go through this turn 1, 2 and 3 complex. Really important as well to get track position here and absolutely place your car perfectly, because we've seen a couple of times you can get a little bit side by side here and it can get real ugly real quickly. But our top 5, top 6 have done that perfectly. Just in the background there, the Lamborghini, I believe that is Mr. Hignett, trying for a bit of a move up the inside there of Lucas Keys, but that door is well and truly slammed shut. And oh no, Lucas Keys has now got back ahead, so those two are having a bit of a scrap. Oh, Lucas right out sideways there in that green Porsche. Caught it well though. Nice little bit of car control in that is delivery, yes. And I see what he's done there. It's very good. And Benjamin Higgins though, he's going to try and fire it up the inside, and he's got that done nicely. That's a classic overtake there. But Lucas is going to try and hang it around the outside. You can do this here at Navarra. Really does lend itself to... Oh, he's gone around. Who's that? That's our race leader. Joshua Struik has had a bit of a moment, and he's spun it round, right round. Oh, that's going to drop him way down the order. Probably dropping around that 21st, 22nd position. Unfortunate for our pole sitter. And now he's got to literally get the head down and do all that again. Well, that was an interesting opening lap.
That's huge. Yeah, Josh Drake really want to try and find his feet and recompose himself right now. Not too sure what's happened. I'm sure we'll find a replay soon, but looked like he had a really good start and caught Ryan Borg napping a little bit. But so we're coming back to the replay here. So it's Struik ahead of Glory Babby in the white and red Porsche just behind him as they go now into turn 11, and the rear just slews around. The tires maybe not up to temperature, and they just the rear completely just gave up on him on there and completely took him by surprise. It's such a slow speed corner. Really wasn't expecting that, and unfortunately the weight, obviously the famous weight distribution of the Porsche not going in any favors as soon as that slide started to give up. So yeah, really unfortunate. Hopefully he won't damage the tires too much right now, but we'll see how he is able to recover up into P20 right now, just behind Tim Craghill as they go into the reprofile turn 6, looking at the inside and sends it up there and gets it nicely done. Tim sees him coming and doesn't fight that one too hard right now, as he knows that car is definitely going to be quicker than him at the moment. But it's going to go the lead to Glory Babby, our P2 in the championship, just ahead of Ryan Borg, who, as I said, was caught napping quite a bit there at the start of the race. Not too sure what the case was that with that. The lights were a little bit delayed for us as well, but whether that's just a UI thing or an iRacing quirk, who knows. But Ryan Borg definitely probably wants to get things a little bit back on the way right now. He knows that now Struik's out of the equation. Potentially he can reaffirm his place right at the front, and definitely not going to give Glory Babby any quarter given.
I definitely agree with that as well. And Ryan Borg's on this very quickly, because he knows if he lets Glory Babby get out in front and build a little bit of a gap, it is drive away, no more to pay. He is a very quick operator, Babby. It is strange seeing him in the Porsche though. I'm so used to seeing him in a big bad Mustang, but he has finally developed some taste, which is great. Oh, he just slightly backed that in there. He just saw this back end, just want to step around a little bit. Classic Porsche things, but controlled it beautifully. I tell you what though, Borg here, he's looking really aggressive. He's got the eyes on. He wants to get this job done and get past, because you can see in the background that Will Hammond is just starting to tack on as well, as we jump on board here with Ryan Borg. As we head around this circuit, there's so many turns here. It feels like you're always turning the car. You never go really straight. See, slide straight here, then bang, on the brake, turning. real characteristic of this circuit. This is probably the longest straight actually coming up now. You might get up to 4th gear if you're lucky, and then again you'll be hard on the anchors, and then back probably down to 1st gear, maybe 2nd gear, and then get that nose in, and then it's a long acceleration out of the corner. That's really another defining characteristic of this circuit, is the long acceleration out of corners while turning. And again, really doesn't do your outside tyre much good at... Ooh, that was a little moment there. Nice little bit of corrective lock. So Babby leading the way, about half a second gap he's got at the moment. That's manageable. Half a second's manageable. If it gets out to any more than that, then I'd start to be a little concerned. I tell you what, Will Hammond is the one. Keep an eye on Will Hammond here in the Python. Of course, the favourites Man Filter Gruppa Emma Mercedes. Of course, that will be at the Nordschleife, I have absolutely no doubt, this year in real life. And if it's not, there will be protests. And then in 4th position is Lucas Keys in the Pegamobile, or whatever that thing is. And then Benjamin Higgins 5th, Michael Clark in 6th. Nice job there from Clarky. Oh no, is he drops back there? Oh wow, I've just cursed that, haven't I? Wow, geez. That is a curse and a half if I've ever seen one.
Oh dear, as it keeps falling down the hill. Down the field
What have I
now.
done
It's
there?
It is absolutely, absolutely a mare you've been put onto it, Michael Clark there, unfortunately, and looks like he has stabilized a little bit, just falling behind. But yeah, Josh Truick up to P16 as well, just to keep tabs on that one. I'm just trying to see if we can see him in the background, but not so quietly. If these guys keep fighting, there is not a bad chance that maybe Struick, with his pace, could get really somewhat close to this top 5, I would wager. There we are. Thank you very much, Glenn. Just on the back of Angelos Zios right now, as all these guys are finding their feet still somewhat. Looks like Glory Babby did kind of stabilize his pace and got the purple lap on the last lap around, so not too surprising to see that gap open up a little bit, but it was really on the threat the previous lap when we cut away back to him. The Lambo looked a little bit, looks pretty good on entry in terms of the sharpness. You can see he was really driving on that front axle, the Ryan Borg, but kind of was also compromising his exits a little bit, maybe just trying to do whatever he can just to keep Glory Babby looking in the mirrors and not looking forward. It is very much a tactic, and some drivers are better at it than others, that's for sure. And as I said, anything that happens up here between these two, Will Hammond will be right there to capitalize as well, and Lucas Keys for sure not too far behind as well. It gets really close, carries a lot more speed, but and even kind of not having the best exits with some of these alternate lines, but not letting him get too far away. And instead the Mercedes is keeping in touch as well as they go into this long sweeping left, double left, and it tightens up right at the top, and he's having a look at the inside but nothing there to really stake a claim right now, as the Porsche does look really good through these sections as well. And a little bit of a swapper there from the Lambo Orion through the mid part of the corner, and I'm just wondering we don't know what the tires are going to be like, but there is seeing a lot of movement from all of these cars right now. There's definitely a lot more movement from some more than others, but it'll be interesting to see how those tires last up with just another 40 minutes to go as well. Potentially might be a-okay. It looks like it could be quite even on tire wear. There's no kind of predominantly left or right corners. It seems like a quite even mix of even left and rights, I have to say, Sean.
Yeah, I get that point. It's a fair point, but what my thinking is, there's a lot of curb riding. They are riding every single curb, and when you're doing a lot of braking and turning, it's another way to wear these tyres. And really interesting here. Borg, just a bit of a mistake there. Missed his braking marker, just ran a little bit too deep, and now Will Hammond could fire up the big AMG Merc. This is where the Merc comes into its own, where it's got some stonking horsepower. But that Lamborghini is no slouch. And that was not what I expected. And then into this very interesting this is very much, not Valencia, it's Misano part of the circuit. That reminds me of Misano so much. And then they sort of flow down the hill a little bit, and then this is where it reminds me a bit of Portimao. And then you sort of come up the hill again. So it really is a mixture of sort of some more famous circuits. It is a real life circuit, just thought I'd let you all know that as well. There are no fake circuits in iRacing, or I don't believe there is. I'm sure Mr. Holmes will be able to correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
None that I'm aware of, but there may be, but
Thank you.
I don't think so. I think most of them are based off little niche tracks, if they're the free ones.
There we go.
Still waiting for that Pukakoi to come to the game. I would love to get over that.
I
think-
want to commentate the Isle of Man. I want. Yeah. It is a racetrack still. It's just the
Yeah.
wrong kind of racetrack.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what they need? Isle of Man. There we go. Isle of
Oh my
Man.
goodness. With these cars, oh my goodness, yeah. How many finish at that point? I think make it a 1-lap dash. You'd have to really with that track, but yeah, I did notice the curbs as well. I imagine they probably are quite, the height that they are probably to dissuade some of those pesky 2-wheels riders that this place has kind of been made for with the intention, not solely, but I think it's what it's been primarily used for. I have to say, and it was funny because I did look up a real life hot lap as well as some iRacing ones just to get an idea of what circuits were. God, Ryan really carries a lot more speed into that corner, but kind of suffers on the exit as well. He's got really shallow entries. Maybe we're not the best exits, but it's still clearly working for him so far. But yeah, I was watching onboard laps and came across one certain Isaac Hadja. I wonder what he's up to these days out here in the Spanish Formula Regional, Formula Renault Euro Cup. I apologize. But yeah, it's an interesting track, and I dare say what gives. I haven't driven it, and you never know what it's like until you drive a track, but this track seems to have a lot more character for me than, dare say, I've mentioned Valencia a few times, Misano as well. Oh, as we come back to here, but it's got that undulation. This is all kicking off. It's all kicking off.
Yeah,
Sean.
this is a little bit awkward. Oh, who we got in here? We got Josh McAdam, Simon Cameron, Joshua Stroke, Craig Busk. So there's a few drivers in here, and this is getting a little bit willing here. We've got the Merc there up the inside. John McAdam just fires it up the inside, but around the outside there is John Paul. Oh, he's gone. He's around. He's around. Oh, there's no love in the air there. Oh, that is unfortunate. And that was always going to happen. It was just a matter of who it was going to be. Unfortunate. That is a spin, but we'll leave that to our awesome stewarding team. Big thank you to them as well. But I reckon that might be a bit of a slam dunk, that one.
I think that was Simon
Cameron.
Cameron.
Just looked awkward. Yeah, I was just thinking that it's very awkward when you got that sort of side-by-side action with a lot of these sort of tightening corners as well. You're kind of in that sort of the avenue of apprehension, as I like to call it. And once you get in there is absolutely nowhere to go. So we've had our first little mini incident. I wouldn't say it's a big one, bit of a mini incident. But unfortunately, John Paulo Yalunga has been the one that's had the unfortunate. Who's got some lap traffic there. That's Yassin Evangelo Algera there. Just not where you want to be, sir. But gets right out of the way and doesn't cause any dramas. So, Tribe attendant is Glory Babby leading the way from Ryan Borg, Will Hammond, Lucas Keys, Benjamin Hignett, Connor Archer, Chrissy Taylor, Leo Dreyer, Luke D, and then Matthew Berry are your 10 at the moment. Good mix of manufacturers as well. We've got a Porsche, Lamborghini, Mercedes, and a Corvette and a McLaren in our top 10. So it is great to see a good mixture of cars as well. As we're back here with this battle, Struick just does the old Craig Lowndes, shows a bit of the nose. Oh, that is very deep there from McAdam, a little too deep. And Simon Cameron goes, thank you very much, I'll be having some of that. As Justin Struick tries to go around the outside, I don't think that's going to work, not even in a Porsche. And it looks like everyone's got themselves sorted, so it'll be back to a bit of single file action. As I say that, Justin Struick goes, I don't think so, coming through, sir. And probably waves the hand on the way by. We've got one in the pit lane. Surprising. What's going on there? Now, is that
appears
damage?
to have some damage, but there is a chance that he can just do a splash and dash here and then make it to the end. So it could be a chance of clean air running and making up positions without battling. So
interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that. That is definitely one to put in the notebook for a bit later. We're back now on track action. It is Joshua Struick just working on the back of Simon Cameron here. This is for 11th and 12th position. And of course, this is round 3 of the Thermaltake iRacing GT3 Cup, coming from you from Circuito Navarra in España. And Of course, next week we are off to a fantastic racetrack that is Alton Park, second best UK circuit going around Alton Park. Of course, beautiful brands will always be number one. And as little Get Stuffed Hamster, I saw what you wrote in chat. We won't be having any of that in here, please, and that may come with the chat ban as well. Saying brand touch is fake. Unbelievable. Who is this guy? There's Joshua Stewart now really working here. He's placed that car beautifully here on Simon Cameron, but Simon's got the inside line here, so John's just going to have to yield here a little bit and just think better of it and tuck back in. But he's definitely working hard in that Porsche, trying to get past Cameron's Mercedes, but Cameron's driving a nice job here, doing a little bit of Minister of Defence work, and he's doing really well. Actually, he's just placing that car beautifully. It looks very comfortable as well. It doesn't look like he's working the car a lot. Oh, as I say, that just runs a little too deep. No danger of hitting an apex there. Now, what's also cool for those who are watching in chat as well is we've got, if you click the live timing link that's pinned at the top of the chat there, you can actually see everyone's I rating, which is really enjoyable. Joshua Stewart sends it up the inside, does that easily. Lovely little move, catches a little bit of curve, but doesn't unsettle the car too much. Oh, Simon Cameron had a big look there, but just pulled it up in time, and it is off they go, and that worked out pretty well. But as I say, you can see everyone's I rating, yeah, which is really cool, and we could play. Oh, see, now you've spoiled my game. What I was going to do is say, who do you think has the highest I rating, and who would you think would have the lowest I rating? And we're counting for drivers that are actually on track, so it's a little bit interesting. The one with the highest is not who I expected, which is yeah, John McAdam actually has the highest I rating in the field at the moment. He's got 4,559. Now, being a non-I racer, I have absolutely no idea what that means.
Numbers.
Numbers, yeah. Numbers are cool. All right, we'll go with that. And you can also see the different licenses as well. We've got that. So a lot of drivers have the A-class license with some more numbers. Yeah, it's a lot of information there. That's a really good timing screen. So a big thank you to whoever got that for us.
Do appreciate that. All the tools and all the bells and whistles out there. Thank you very much to all the people that organise that stuff. But yeah, it's gonna say I've never raced to any kind of game that has a MMR rating system. Well, I guess now LMU does have a rating system. It's not as crucial to the game, I think, as iRacing is. I think I've done my rookies class many moons ago, and that was it. And I never really bothered to pick up the game ever again. But yeah, it's always a fascinating part. I know and tens of thousands iRacing do exist for those people who are right at the front of the top of the game. Kudos to them for that one. But yeah,
and touch grass.
Touch grass, yeah, exactly. Not that I do that either, but dare say. But yeah, Glory Bradley looking still good out there. Strug did eventually looks like he get past Simon Cameron. I was going to say he's aware that car was probably going to get a penalty considering what happened at this part of the track a few laps ago. And I do apologise, I didn't realise actually John McAdam was in the race in quali. I don't know if he wasn't really around in quali and maybe did a pit start or something. But looks like his race hasn't really gone to plan and maybe not up to speed now. Ooh, is 312 goes a little bit wide there of Craig Busk, and not Simon Cameron, just does Angelus Zias, I should say, goes through very nicely and says thank you very much with the Ferrari. Graham Hill just behind him in the white and purple colours, looking to capitalise on that mistake. And Mr. Paulo Young, as the Ferrari goes into the pits as well, so that makes it quite easy. So Mr. Holmes, if you're there, like I'm guessing we weren't too sure really whether everyone had to pit, but it's looking pretty much the case, potentially, that everyone will have to pit at some point.
Yeah, so every single race that's 45 minutes, so just our normal sprint rounds, is guaranteed pit for fuel, because all these cars will be running sprint size tanks which are 50%, so none of them will make that 45-minute stint regardless of track, unless somehow they've done a mega job at saving. So majority of what we see in time difference is going to be whether or not they've effectively fuel saved. For an example, there was a opportunity for early on when we were doing the introductory series where I was behind Hegner and managed to pop up in front of him by about 4 seconds. So if you save fuel, it is worth a lot of time. But
Sorry to interrupt here,
this
John.
battle.
No, sorry to interrupt there, Holmes. We've got a bit of a fight here between the Castrol Porsches and the Lamborghini. It's stuck in a Castrol sandwich here at the moment. That won't taste very nice. And look at this stuff. So it's Lupti who's currently leading the way, and then we've got Matthew Berry there in the Lamborghini, and then Joshua Struik who's worked his way up to 11th position. He's gone. Is that Lupti's looped it? Lupti's looped it. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, he got tapped, so that'll do his sense of humour of the world of good. And drags heaps of gravel on the circuit as well. GG Lupti. But I'm sure that will be looked at. I have no doubt about it. If he did get a little tap in the bum, it is unfortunate. These cars, they're very... Here we go. Oh, yes, that's more than a tap in the bum, actually. That's a good old-fashioned I'm coming through, and I don't care where you are. That was very much in the avenue of apprehension. It's one of those things, again, with these sort of tightening radius corners, once you get into that sort of the cone, as they say, it is always ending one way, and it's real unfortunate there for Jaden. That's popped him down to 15th position now. So I have no doubt that he'll get the head down, and if there is a pit stop involved, this race, a top 10 finish is not out of the realm of possibility. Just got ourselves another replay here of Jacob Fleming. What is going on here? So it looks all pretty standard operating procedure. That is not an apex. Nope. Oh, we're just going to stop. Oh, we're going to... Oh. Yep. Yep, the classic, I've had enough and I don't really want to race anymore.
We've got notes just here for Dottie or Jacob Fleming. He dropped due to packet loss, unfortunately. So it was hardware issues for him tonight, or network, rather.
Bloody packet loss, seriously. Don't ask for a lot here, but geez, get your packet sorted. So it has just clouded over as well. It's a little bit sort of overcast there at the moment. So again, that'll drop that track temp down just a little bit and make these tyres just last that little bit longer and feel that little bit gooder, if that's a word. Gooder, we'll go with gooder. Or as Scafey used to say, or no, Scafey used to say, retain the goodness of the tyre. As Joshua Struik here looking a little bit racy here on Simon Cameron. And he's going to try and do the old over and under. Oh, that was very tight, but that's going to force Simon to go a little bit deep, but he does carry nice momentum through the corner, so he doesn't give up that position. Struik's really got the eyes on now. This is very much a bike rider style mentality, the old left and right. Of course, it is a Castrol car, so all I've got in my head now is Simon Crafart back in the old Superbike days. But loses a lot of actually exit there. The Lambo just seems to really punch out of those corners really nicely. Isn't Gouda a cheese? Yes, Gouda is a cheese. It's not a bad cheese, Gouda. Not as good as, say, a really nice aged cheddar. Or some Pecorino Romano is also very good. There you go. That's enough cheese talk. Back with the racing action. So 22 minutes have passed. It is Glory Baby leading the way from Ryan Borg. Will Hammond there in third. Lucas Keys in fourth. Benjamin Nickett in fifth. Connor Archer there in sixth. Chrissy Taylor in seventh. Leo Dreyer in eighth. Matthew Berry in ninth. And Joshua Struik, who we are watching on screen at the moment, currently in 10th position with Simon Cameron, Angela Zios just outside the 10. And then we've got a couple little notables there. So Jaden's down in 15th at the moment after that little tappy tap. And then, of course, former Australian crew captain Michael Clark has dropped all the way down to 23rd. We'll have to get to the bottom of that and sort of work out, sort of piece that story together, what happened there. Because we'll literally just mention him and he just dropped down the order like you wouldn't believe. So, oh, wow. Oh, what's going on there? Oh! So Struik's tried to go up the inside. Now, I'm not sure if that was a touch or he's just backed it in and lost the rear and he was just trying to keep out of the side of Cameron there. Berry, sorry. Really interesting sort of little moment there from Joshua Struik. So that's his second sort of half spin. So he's having a bit of a bit of a mare, as they say. So let's have a look here. We've got ourselves a replay. So as he backed it in, so he's got a nice exit. Oh, no, that's a little bit of naughties there. The corridor of confusion, that one. Again, those tightening radius corners, kind of the inside's not the place to be, unfortunately, and it does lull you into that false sense of, oh, there's room, and then there's all of a sudden not. So that is unfortunate there for Josh, and that's popped him down back to 17th position.
It's really unfortunate for his recovery drive. He got himself all the way up into P10, and unfortunately, we've got a replay here of Michael Clark in the Porsche going along, and so this might have been what happened to that commentary curse, and just tucks it in, and the rear just can't live with it, unfortunately, and he's just stopped a little bit in no man's land, and is he gonna get that? No, 3-pointer.
No.
Back it up. I was gonna say that one's not getting all the way around, unfortunately, but not good back then and currently for Porsches out there as Stewart comes into the pits. Not too surprising, but yeah, unfortunately that mistake kind of cost him a few positions, whether it was a bit who said, she said, who done it. That one's a bit tricky to say, because I think it was a little bit brewing with the Lamborghini there, and that Lambo obviously getting in a little bit of a tussle with Rondinella as well, so he felt like he had to be very decisive and sent it into turn 3, but unfortunately the Lambo kind of just came across as well, but we'll leave that one to the stewards. I'm not really sure how to call that one. You would need all the angles, which the stewards will have as well, so let's leave them to it. And these two have not been separated at all. They're stuck together closer than a tally-ho right now, and haven't been able to get away from the Lamborghini, has the Glory Babby, and not able to, but he hasn't cracked under the pressure and still going just over halfway into this race as well, and will be interesting to see, will the pit stops be a decisive factor in this one?
Yeah, it's intriguing to work out sort of the strategy play here, especially if you're Borg. I feel like if I'm Ryan Borg, if I'm thinking about a pit stop, I'm popping in as quick as I can, see if he can get some of that clear air and really set a Hollywood number. Their lap times at the moment are super close, like there's absolutely nothing in it. Pure pace-wise though, Benjamin Hignett is currently the fastest man on circuit. What is going on there, Mr. Hignett? A 1:37.6 if you don't mind, umpire. So he is stonking along at the moment, and it is good to see, because we all remember his round 1, the round to forget. He had more moments than days of our lives. It was unbelievable, but he's bounced back very strongly now and looking always sort of in that round, that top 5, top 7 to 8 sort of mark. So having a good season, but this race up the front is where it's at. Babby leading the way from Borg. There's bugger all in it. And once again, you can just see the different strengths and weaknesses of both these vehicles. You can see the Porsche so good under braking and really good through that mid corner, but the Lambo just seems to power out of the corners well, and it can carry a lot of mid corner speed. Oh, a little bit of a shake and bake there from Babby. Just got the bum out, but caught it. Nothing too serious. And then he's gonna tuck back in. So Benjamin did lose 2 positions there, but we don't know what happened. It could be a multitude of reasons. Look at chat. Geez, you say one thing and chat are on you like an absolute... They're like chips or seagull. Where does that go? Seagulls to a chips, you idiot. And so back up the front. I don't know, I got myself completely tongue-tied there for some reason. So Glory Baby leading away from Ryan Borg, Will Hammond, Lucas Keys, Chrissy Taylor in 5th position. Nice job. Connor Archer. That's a nice name, Connor Archer. That's a good commentator's name. Leo Drake, and Connor's actually just pulled into the pit lane. And then Matthew Berry, Simon Cameron are your 10 at the moment, with Angela Cios and John Paul Young currently just sitting outside the 10. And we've got quite a couple of drivers now popping into the pit lane, so just to get a bit of avgas and fill her up and get back out there again. Actually, GT3 cars, you might know this, Cam, because you're a bit more of a technical nerd than I am. Are these E85 GT3s? No, they're not, are they?
Nah, they'll be... to be honest, I'm not too sure. I think I looked it up a while ago, but obviously can't speak for like all racing series. I imagine it would just be E100, like 100 octane race fuel, which I remember I did look it up. I can't remember which supplier brand, but I remember hearing, I think it was pre-COVID, it was like $20 a litre for race fuel. I'm not sure if the prices have come back down to that time, or depending on where in your world. To be honest, Tim Gerber will probably be the one to ask more out of anything, as we got, cheers, Adelaide, looking forward to it. But not quite there still, as Ryan Borg in the pits, Will Hammond in the pits as well, so that's going to really shake things up at the front. But yeah, Paulo Yalung here really doing a good recovery job, actually, considering he had that buff in the back end a few laps ago by Simon Cameron as well. I'm not too sure if there's been any penalties for that one. I don't know if anyone any stewards in chat could let us know penalties have come in.
10, I believe it was 10 seconds from memory.
For Simon Cameron, I imagine. Yeah, 10 seconds.
Yes, yep, correct.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing worth noting is that we're starting to see these pit stop times now. So roughly pit stops are varying between 39 to 37 seconds. So it'll be interesting to see the battle then form between Babby and Borg, because Borg's in the traditionally worse car and fuel, and Babby's in the better car and fuel, except Borg's behind the other car, so his fuel should be slightly better. So it is going to be a pit battle for those two, so keep an eye on those pit lane time and see what happens.
Well, oh, look at this. Look at all the information we got here. Oh,
ACC,
Sky Sports F1, get stuffed. we got.
Oh, look at that. You're spoiling us, Glenn. Huh?
Oh, look at this. Look at all this information. So
Hey,
looking...
Archer there. 10 seconds long.
Yeah, William Coleman, 35 seconds. Oh, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. That is in and out quick. Oh, yeah, but that's all right. We don't go on the laps.
Leaders in the pits. The whole top four are in the pits right now. So where is Ryan Borg? Let's go see where Ryan Borg is on track and see where he's going to come out relative to the Porsche. He's at pit exit. Is Glory Babby right now and come back on track, but is he up to speed? Is the speed going to be a factor? You can see in the background Ryan Borg there. So it'll be interesting to see, is it closing up? They're pretty much only a second longer for Ryan Borg. So good pit there from Babby. Unfortunately, that gap has only increased, actually, sadly for us.
I've seen this story before. That is drive away, no more to pay. Oh, here we go. Lucas Keys and Will Hammond having a bit of a ring-ding-ding up. And we've got a frog versus a snake here.
Oh, Ryan Borg's off.
That's Borg. Borg's gone. Oh, out of second position. All of a sudden, this race has turned on its head. So Ryan Borg was looking super comfortable there in second position, and I believe that was a little bit of a Lamborghini going, I want to go left, and Ryan Borg going, no, I need you to go right. And Lamborghini said, I don't think so. Oh, that's a real shame. And what that also will do, that will not do his tyres any good at all. Again, these tyres, especially in sim racing, once you start sliding them like that and you start getting smoke signals, they do not like it at all. Let's have a look at just got on the grass a little bit. Yeah, he did. And around she went, and that is all concrete as well. Oh, that's gonna feel horrible behind the wheel. 50-cent pieces, eat your heart out, and that'll be all full tyres that feel like that as well. So then, even though these cars do have ABS, they still can't. It's not so much locking up, but they will find that flat spot very quickly, consistently, and your braking distance will increase because your tyres are locking up more, so the ABS has to work harder. So that is a real shame there from Ryan Borg, and that sort of opened this battle up now between Will Hammond and Lucas Keys. This is now for second position on the road, and this is the battle for the podium right here, because I didn't want to call it, but I'm going to call it now. The race is over. Glory Babby is going to win this. I've seen this many times before. He's got the gap that he needs, and now he will get into metronome mode. So back with this fantastic fight between Will Hammond and Lucas Keys. Lucas Keys, he just hangs around, doesn't he? He's always there, and that sort of, he might not be the quickest this evening, but he's always there and he's always ready to pounce on an opportunity. It's what he does. It's what he's known for. And also, an 8 skill to drive every sim at the top level is, yeah, scary. We're getting word through that at least iRacing doesn't have flat spot shakes like LMU. Well, that's not realistic. That's fake. I'm sorry. No, not realistic.
Yep, that is correct. There's no heavy shaking or anything on big, I guess, lockups or anything like that. It's mainly just doesn't feel nice for the next lap or two, and if you're quite terrible with time management in general, you will just suffer with it through the stint.
I mean, just continuing the bane of there'll be no perfect sim out there, that's for sure. Everything is just equally flawed at this rate, more than others. But
I'm sorry, disagree with that. Mario Kart on the 64 would like to have a chat, actually.
Oh, he's got nothing to Midtown Madness 3 on the original Xbox.
Oh, okay. You want to go down that path? Well, Crash Team Racing would also like a chat then.
The original driver on PC on my dad's computer. Me, because I make the schedule.
Hey, I've shown my age. I was about to bring up Street Rod. That's really showing my age.
Goodness.
What about Test Drive Unlimited? You guys ever try that?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
I spent a lot of hours in Honolulu in game. That's for sure.
Or the OG Need for Speed, where the Supra was the quickest car out of everything.
That probably explains why some people love it that much. But yeah, sorry, Ryan Borg. So it's going to make things pretty easy. Glory Brad is going to have the biggest throwaway you could imagine out there to lose this one. And I imagine that will give him the lead of the driver's standings right now. Is a 13-point gap between Borg and Barry at the top of the standings. But I imagine with Borg falling down to P4, that's going to get either very, very close or swap around as well, with Babby taking the lead of the championship. That'll be interesting into this third round of the 8-round season. Obviously, we are a little bit delayed due to thanks iRacing maintenance. You're kind of we can't escape maintenance, can we? You know, that's for damn sure. But yeah, unfortunate on that one. Wasn't expecting that whatsoever. As William Coleman and Damien going on a little bit, and flashing the lights out there as well. I'm not too sure what the stewards' policy is on flashing that there. I personally don't really like it, but we'll see what the stewards say about it. But that's been caught on stream now, so Coleman, I'm not too sure if that's going to get you too far. Down 12 spots as well, so he had a good quali, but not too sure what happened to him in the race, and really falling down to the P22. But it looks like he isn't getting too close to Damien Meyer right now in the Shell Porsche. Doing a good job out there.
Doing a lovely job. Nice to see a couple of Porsches out there on track. Standing in 21st and 22nd position at the moment. We've got a tick under 10 minutes remaining. You are watching round 3 of the Thermaltake iRacing GT3 Cup, coming to you live from Circuit Navarra, or Navarra as I call it, in beautiful España. We've got a lovely little battle here as well. Will Coleman on lap 4 replay. What has happened here? Is this going to be a bit of Porsche things? I think it is. It's got Porsche things. It's setting up like Porsche things, and there it is. Got another
start.
Here we go. Start of the race. So what's happened here? There's a Corvette there. Oh, is that a touch? Oh, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the bottom of that story. I'm not too sure if there's a little bit of a helping hand there. But once again, it is very tricky to tell, especially on iRacing with all this net coding that they have. Sometimes you kind of just got to hold back, especially in commentary, and say, oh, no, that was a touch. You're like, was it? Yeah, it's a little bit strange, but I'll tell you what, back to this battle, because Lucas Keys now has got the eyes on. This is now, Lucas Keys has gone from circulation mode to I want this bloody second position mode. And Will Hammond is going to have to really pull all the tricks out of the kit bag now. Every little bit of defensive driving that he's got, he now needs to show. And I'll tell you what, I thought Babby was going to really drive away, but that gap's maintained around that 4.7 seconds. So what could have been if Babby sort of was in this battle as well, but he just nailed his pit stop strategy, and that's what's got him that gap. As you can see, he's pretty much quickest sort of our top 3, top 6 operators there, with a 39-second dead transition time in the pit lane. That's got him out to that 4.7. But back here with Will Hammond, that big Merc is going to have to get even wider. It is one of the widest GT3 cars going around the Merc. But that Porsche, it knows what it's doing, especially in the hands of Mr. Keys. But again, the Merc, you've just got to place it on the apex. Just drive it nice and straight. And it's going to take a pretty bold manoeuvre to get past here for Lucas. We have seen it before, though. Lucas Keys is not afraid to fire around the outside. And I've just looked at that window banner on that Porsche. Deary, dear, oh me. I don't even know what to say.
Yep. It's
Yep.
out there, and classic Lucas Keys livery is like we're watching Coleman here going into turn 3, and just having a spin as well. He's not having a good day.
I was about to say he's having a day.
Deja vu. Sorry, Coleman. As the traffic might get a little bit, not the Will Hammond weren't like that too much, but it didn't affect them too badly right now, as Lucas still all the way at the back of him. Did cross the line first in Silverstone for split yellow, but not too sure it was disqualified post-race as well. So, yeah,
I can't rejoin because the race is currently going.
Oh dear, so we've unfortunately lost our safety car driver, as it turns out. He has been, clearly, because you got trainers on, you're not allowed back in, mate, quite frankly, on your bike. But unfortunately, safety car driver cannot rejoin due to the race has commenced, unfortunately. But
is that a fireable incident? Hang on. So, safety car driver has left the chat, and unfortunately, I reckon that's a don't come Monday.
Well, hope we don't need a safety car driver in the last 4 minutes.
No, it's fine.
It would take quite a substantial incident to instigate that, and forgive it.
Yeah, you've gone.
And on that note, not necessarily that note, but I've been trying to mention it all race, but unfortunately, there's been so much action before the race, quali, and everything that we haven't really had a chance. Daytona 3 hour, 30th of May, 6 p.m. iRacing. Another enduro for iRacing, 3 hours, no longer 4 hours. You can race here on iRacing at OOR at Daytona. Very much looking forward to that in the lovely state of Florida. Definitely going to put myself. I'm gonna use my the powers of commentary to put myself down for that one, because I really want to commentate that lovely Daytona circuit that we all well and truly love. Looking forward to that one. Nice to get another iRacing on the enduro on the calendar. Down to 3 hours as well, so I think you can enter it solo and or as a 2-man as well, as I was reading on the website. So get down for that one, whether you want to solo it or race with a mate. Do get your things signed up for that one. Looking forward to that very much so.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We've got a couple of big enduros coming up here in OLR. We do have a 12-hour coming up as well, I believe. Where is that?
The Glen.
The Glen. That's right, at Glen's joint. So we've got the 12-hour Glens. Should be a lot of fun, that one. That's going to be, really interesting race. Watkins always provides good racing action. One of my personal favourite tracks as well in ACC land, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So now we just need LMU to come to the party so we can start doing a bit of endurance racing in LMU. And I'll be one very happy little camper. Of course, we are coming up to in IRL Enduro season as well. We'll be kicking off with the Nordschleife for 24 hours in a couple of weeks' time. And this battle is really starting to heat up here between McAdam and Paul Young.
He's done really well to get back in all the way
He's
back
done.
and got ahead of the person that did sent him spinning. And the other guy that was around in that process as well. And yeah, John McAdam just not looking at home at this circuit than he has at other circuits, that's for sure, I have to say, Sean.
It's one of those, I've never driven it, but it's just got the look of one of those tracks where you either click with it or you don't. There's no middle ground with it. It's very much, that's why it reminds me of Portimao so much. Like, it's just got those Portimao vibes. And we've got Hignett and Chrissy Taylor here just having a bit of a ring-ding-dinger. Just playing, apparently, according to the voice in my ear.
Yeah, they will be having a go at one another in the VC and the Discord there. Just having a bit of fun and probably a bit of payback for Chris, since Ben was a bit of a pain in our side for the Adelaide 4-hour for a little bit there, so it's time to pay it back to them.
You telling me sim racers have long memories? No, don't believe it. Lies, absolute lies.
Is Chris been allowed to lead the dog kennel since he lost the lead at Adelaide?
Oh yeah, I think he did well. I mean, he lost the lead, but I mean, I think he climbed. When he handed the car back to me, I think I was back in P4, so he did a pretty astonishing job to make his way back up there with a few safety car calls and then pitting at the right time. So
he's such a modest guy. I didn't even you had to wait for me to mention the Adelaide 4-hour and certain winner in the box here with you in the Audi, but it was a mega drive from you in the wet. You looked class of the field, I have to say, out there, but it was an interesting race, that's for sure. I don't know if it was fun for you guys, but it was a lot of fun to commentate over, and really glad we got that one done at the last possible draw.
Speaking of getting it done, I believe we're on the last lap. So 45 minutes have ticked across. It is going to be Glory Baby who's going to take the victory. And Will Hammond has done an absolute astounding job here. He has drove beautifully to remain in second, but it has been about one driver this evening. Glory Baby showing his class. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the top of the podium, where he deserves to be, but back with this battle, because this is on here between Will Hammond and Lucas Keys. Has the kid got anything for him? I don't think so. Oh, he's run a little bit deep there, Will Hammond. Oh, he's parked that on the apex beautifully. Oh, that is classic parking on the apex right there. Beautifully done, Will Hammond. Lucas Keys will finish in third, and then in fourth position will be Ryan Borg. Back with this battle between John Paul Young and John McAdam. McAdam shows the nose, but John Paul says, I don't think so. And slams the door shut.
Been following McAdam for quite a while, but he's managed to get him at some point during this lap. But it's looking really good for. He's going to steal that top 10 away from the AMG, and really good job from him in the Tribute Tic Tac BMW. It does cross the line, P10 on the field right now, but yeah, great stuff.
Good drive.
Class of the field, Glory Baby. And Josh Struick, what could have been, comes home P13 behind Simon Cameron. What could have been?
Just feel Josh's chat lighting up right about now. He will not be happy with that. He's very hard on himself. Puts himself under an immense amount of pressure. I believe sometimes too much pressure. He will recharge. That I do know.
It's also worth noting something interesting for this race is, so Will Hammond and McAdam are obviously competing together as a team, as well as Ryan Borg, and recently Ryan Borg picked up a teammate, Matthew Berry, and these are the two top teams that are competing for that top spot for team championship. So even looking at how this finished tonight, I think these two teams are still like right next to each other in terms of getting the top points. So this battle continues more than just the driver championship between Borg and some of the guys from Winnipeg Racing, but it's also into the team one. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out through the season and see if there's any particular calls that are made between those teams.
Bit of papaya rules, I like it. So recapping our race results at the Nirvana 45-minute race. Glory Baby leads the way from Will Hammond, Lucas Keys, Ryan Borg, Benjamin Hignett, Chrissy Taylor, Connor Archer, Leo Dreyer, Matthew Berry, Jean Palo Young, And then John McAdam, Simon Cameron, Joshua Stroik, Graham Hill, Angelos Zios, Craig Busk, Jaden Ronanella, Timmy Craggle, Robert Brickley, former Australian cricket captain Michael Clark, Damien Meyer, William Coleman, Pedro, Matthew McAllister, Andrew Alguera, Jacob Fleming, and Benjamin Archer. That was a interesting race. Look, just giving you the hot tip, I don't think we run that track again. I think it's an absolute boring track to commentate on. But sometimes you've just got to run them and get it done. But look forward to that. That was a good race. But anyway, so coming of course in OOI land tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night, LMUWE series runs around Silverstone. Always a good time at Silverstone. And then the Split Red boys will produce something. They're going to go around at Silverstone as well. That should be a lot of fun. Then of course the ELMS series will pop along on Friday evening. Final thoughts here, Cam? Anything you want to say?
Oh, you're gonna hate me for it, but I'm just gonna. I didn't mind the Circuit Nirvana, and as a reminder for Daytona, you can come as you are. Either as a solo or a two-man for Daytona at 30th of May. Yes, just to plug that one again because we didn't manage to plug it too much at the middle part of the race. But yeah, I wanted to sneak that one in either. But I don't know. I'm happy to tick that circuit off. I don't think it was actually that much more or less action than Spa the other week for iRacing. So we shall see. But I think relative to the Silverstone races with the rain that we're going to have for obviously earlier before this race and the Split Red and LMU tomorrow, dare say I think this is going to be a very lost in the weeds in terms of the highlight reel.
That's it, but we move on pretty quickly. So a huge thank you also goes to Thermaltake for their continued support of us here at AOR. Massive thank you goes to the one and only Glenn Germain for bringing you all the beautiful pictures, and of course one of our series organised, Joshua Holmes, joining us in the box. Massive thank you of course to our awesome stewards, our race directors, but of course best on ground as always an MVP is chat. You guys are amazing. It's been a lot of fun this evening, but make sure you join us tomorrow night for some more racing action, and as always you've been watching AOR.